The Knights of the Republic, the video game, it's going to get a remake. It is. It isn't. What's the deal with Knights of the Republic? Is it happening? Is it not happening? Will it be a movie? Who knows? We're going to talk about whether or not we actually think the game's going to get remade like they say it is. And if that's the case, will they also finally do a TV show or movie? Or is that not happening? I'll tell you what is happening. Conan O'Brien, who did a great job at the Oscars, he's coming back. Village Roadshow, my former place of intern employment, going bankrupt a la Ruski. We'll talk about that. The Avengers apparently has a narrative, and the Russo brothers are using AI, and Rocha is pissed about it. So we will discuss that and a lot more on the show here today. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button, click like, do all that and more, because we got a hell of a show for you today with myself and John Rocha. So let's get to it. Without any further ado, it's Kristian Harloff Show. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kristian Harloff Show here on a Monday. Last week, he was by his lonesome, holding down the fort, as always. John Rocha, what's up, buddy?
¿Qué pasa, Chico? What's going down? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, too. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
What's you talking about? Right.
You know what I got to do here? You talk to the audience for a second. I got to do something.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to St. Patrick's Day. I don't believe in it, which is why I don't wear the green. I know Kristian Harloff believes in it. I think he's part Irish, if I can venture a guess. I think he's part Irish, or maybe he's Scottish. I don't know. He's probably a white European mutt. I don't know where he comes from, but surely there must be. There it is. There it is.
No, I put a little green on it. A little green on. So we and I put the green on with the glasses. I'm a mess, but it's all right.
I don't own a green shirt, so I would like to have worn green, but I don't own a green shirt.
I need to find it somewhere. I found it. This is the best part about it is it's a Hawaii shirt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's green, so it works. It works. Anyway, what's going on? You have a good weekend or what?
Yeah, busy weekend. A lot of stuff happening. We did a new episode of this Jedi Way dropped yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Me and Kevin just talked about stuff going on in the world of entertainment, and then the Outlaw Lodge, Outlaw and I went out a few places hiking and stuff. So it was a cool, cool little week. How was yours?
It was good. Family time and doing all that stuff, and we was finally able to get that Far From Home reaction up, so that was good. And did that on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Today we we watched Team America with my wife. Must have been a couple months ago, and I finally got it out today. We released the reaction to it, and you see the thumbnail, and you pretty much can guess her reaction to the. I should even upload the. You know what? I'll show it to you. I'll show you the actual
do it.
Picture, because you can see the picture alone, and you know exactly where this is going to go. It's pretty amazing, and you'll guess my reaction, you'll guess her reaction just from the thumbnail alone, which is on the channel right now. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
How perfect is that? I mean, that's pretty much, yeah. Shout out to Luke for that one. But this is the epitome of what this entire thing is. It was just me laughing my ass off like a 6-year-old, and my wife just shaking her head, just couldn't get into it. It's hilarious. So anyway,
that movie still holds up, by the way. I saw it recently, an hour of it recently. It still holds up.
It kills me. It killed me. I hadn't seen it in so long, but it kills me.
Yeah,
I love it. She laughed out loud a couple times, though. She did, but that's just not her bag, if you will.
Not her cup of tea at all.
I'll tell you what's my cup of tea is Knights of the Republic. Love that game.
Hey.
I love that game. Well, there's been talk about this this game, and they said, well, it's not going to happen. There's no way this is going to happen. Well, they say it is going to happen. Knights of the Republic remake, apparently it's still alive. Garth Franklin over at Dark Horizons, he says that developer Saber Interactive, which was responsible for Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2, has confirmed that its Star Wars Knights of the Republic remake for the PS5 is exclusively still in development. Project was first announced back in 2021 and has been engulfed in development turmoil as it was initially at Asper Media before being shifted over to Saber. In November 2023, it was reported the game's production had been paused indefinitely. Then last March came word that the Embracer Group was selling Saber Interactive to private investors and work would continue on that remake. Saber CEO Matthew Karch confirmed in April the game was alive and well. Then radio silence with nothing coming out about it since. That changed this week with Karch telling GameFile the title is still in development but couldn't say more. According to VGC, it's then a PR rep steps in and explains that Saber wants to allow Star Wars franchise owner Disney to take the lead in talking about the games tied to the company's characters. I mean, that would be nice. The game unfolds 4 millennia before A New Hope and begins as Darth Malak, a Darth Lord of the Sith, has unleashed the Sith Armada against the Republic. Malak's aggression has left the Jedi scattered and vulnerable, with many Jedi Knights having either fallen or sworn allegiance to Malak. The Jedi player must venture to different planets in the galaxy in order to defeat Malak. The game was first released in 2003 and was universally well received. The sequel was released in 2004 and an MMORPG spinoff in 2011. A fun fact here is when Kristian Harloff was working for Alcon Entertainment, he took his vacation days and some sick days to finish the game. So, I don't know if you knew that fact, John.
I'm looking to see where that's at. I was following along, and then
I did not say that. But yeah, I was. I had a few sick days and vacation days, which I took. Like, where are you going? I was like, oh, I'm going away, and then I just stayed home and played Knights of the Republic. It was worth every.
That's the joy of youth, man. You can do that every once in a while.
Yeah, I was 39. No, I was just kidding. But it was amazing when I did it, because like my ex-girlfriend at the time, obviously not thrilled about that, as I'm pajama pants and smoking a bong in the middle of the living room. But it worked out. Look at me now.
Look at you now. Happily married.
That's right.
Career. Come on.
100%. So who knows? Lots of other things. But I'll tell you though that when it comes to this, it gets me hopeful. Hopeful. I cross my fingers saying I know for a fact that certain people at Lucasfilm and Disney underestimate this game and think it's just a niche thing, and think that it doesn't have widespread appeal, and that it would never work, and it's not George's vision, so it couldn't happen, and blah, 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 blah. What I hope happens is that because the game is so popular and that they actually do a rebooted version of it and a remake of it, that it blows up in the fact that they're like, man, the numbers aren't lying here. Maybe we should approach this. And because they've talked about it for TV, they've talked about it for movies, but they've just been shy to, and I think not rightfully so. They're probably nervous because The Acolyte didn't do well. And people don't want to see that. That's where they go with these things. They go, oh, well, we tried to put it in that time period, and look what happened. And granted, that time period is drastically different from the time period of when the Old Republic happens, but nonetheless, it's detached from the Skywalker saga and all that. So nobody wants to see that. No, people want to see good stories. People want to see good characters. People want to see if you put things together right. People were excited about the time period. That's the one thing they were excited about with The Acolyte. It just was executed poorly. So that's my hope. My hope is that it comes out, they do a remake, and then they realize, okay, let's actually put a little bit more investment into this. But I don't think they're taking it serious right now. Do you think this game will ever see a remake?
Well, I think now everything is possible, right? Because I mean, clearly we're in a transition place, as Kathleen laid out in her Deadline interview, and we're slowly moving away to a new person in charge of it. And maybe the new person in charge of it, or persons in charge of it, will look at this as an avenue to explore, maybe more open to explore it than maybe Kathleen. Huh? What's that?
Not if it's Filoni.
Well, we'll see. I mean, because like Kathleen's more conventional, right? I mean, yes, she took some chances, a couple of chances, but she's more conventional in her approach because she's been in the business for decades. She knows how these things work. You get someone else who's a little more open to see what else you can create, what else you can explore, what avenues. I mean, look, Mandalorian, nobody saw that coming. From the things I'd heard, she was aware. She was obviously, she knew about it. She was in charge of it, but she wasn't like hands-on.
No, she got more involved. She got more involved when it was a hit.
Exactly. And so that's the thing. So there are possibilities that certain things happen. If they can keep it kind of under the ropes and see, or under the, whatever you say, under their purview, but not too deeply bothering them, they can get this out, knock it out, and see the reaction, as you said. And if the reaction is great, then the doors start to open up, right? Because I mean, what do the investors care about? It's money. What does the board care about? It's money. And if they see the potential that this could be another kind of Mandalorian type of approach, then why not? I think the door is wide open. Look how they're falling all over themselves for Andor. I think if they see that kind of element for KOTOR, then there's a new possibility, because there's not going to be any more Andor after those 4 weeks. So you want to have a darker edge. Yeah,
I agree with you. There's a reason for that. Everything that you said makes me wish that you were in the room because,
thanks. Yeah,
because yes, Kathleen Kennedy does approach things very differently, but she also leans on Dave Filoni when it comes to, well, is that a place that we should go? And Dave Filoni does not pay attention to the games. He does not pay attention to the books. He does not feel like those things are connected to it. He's not, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. The guy does not feel, I don't know whether or not he thinks, Andor's quality is a different conversation. He does not feel Andor is part of Star Wars. He just doesn't. He does not. And I think that is a detriment if he runs the company. It's one of the reasons why, because you won't explore the Knights of the Republic. You won't go down that way. And I think it's a major error. I think that there's good stories that can happen and should. That's why one of the reasons I hope that it's somebody else that runs it after her. But that's why I hope that this game happens, because if the game happens and then they say, look, then the Disney reps can say, hey guys, we're looking at kind of the numbers of what happened with Last of Us and how successful they were there. And we have this game that they just remained, and it's going off the shelves here. What are we doing? Can we adapt this? And they kind of put some pressure on them to do it,
Let me add something to this too, because if you look at it, this is the thing, you have to understand how to approach these things and these franchises. You look at how WWE is doing things now, right? It ain't. Michael Cole said it recently in an interview, right? We're not about pro wrestling anymore. We're sports entertainment with a focus on entertainment. Now, do a lot of us diehards hate that they're weaving in these influencers and doing? Yes, it really does rankle us. But you can't argue that the attention, the eyes, the money, the ads, all of that has never, WWE's never been bigger than it is right now financially. And it's because they've opened the door to new ways of thinking, to new ways of approaching pro wrestling and selling it to people and new fans. Star Wars, all franchises need to be opening the doors more and more to new approaches and what have you, and exploring more ways to do things. And so if Filoni is going to come in with a very just like, this is the only way it is, then he's going to shoot himself in the foot. He's going to cut off his nose to spite his face. Whoever's going to come in has got to be someone from the outside, possibly, because, you get people involved who are too much fans, and then it becomes like, well, we can't touch that, and we can't touch this, and we can't mess with this, and we can't mess with that.
Especially somebody who's right under George Lucas and feels everything, the religion of George Lucas, and like there's tons. You should absolutely pay homage and use George Lucas's stuff as the blueprint. George Lucas, for God's sake, he's one of the best storytellers of all time. But to not evolve at all, and to just stay in that little pocket and not look at the things, like to see how you can evolve in a way that Andor did, or the way that Last of Us did, and the way those things. He's too Filoni's too blinded by that stuff. So I agree with you. I think they need somebody outside who's very creative, to come in and do it. But that's just why I really hope they do. Like I'll probably wind up doing the same thing. You'll probably, if Knights of the Republic does get a remake, you're going to be winding up hosting the show for the week, because you're not going to see me for that week. I'm be playing it. I'll be playing that game, and I want to see what they do, the updates and all that, and see how they're going to add characters to it.
To check in with you periodically.
Yeah. What day you have a camera with me, just like, growing like the Rip Van Winkle beard. But like, I think though that it'll be one of these things that I think Knights of the Old Republic fans will be looking of. Did they update certain characters? Did they add new characters? Are they aware that they want this story to be told in other mediums outside of the game? So that have they made it a little bit more, even more cinematic than it already was? Have they, started to the story scenes of it? Because it's 2003, the graphics are significantly different than they would be in 2025. So to see an updated graphic version of this, I'm pretty pumped for it. I hope it does happen. Yeah. But I got to ask the audience, man, what do you guys think? Should it happen? Will it not happen? What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Roxy's not on the show this week, John. As you know, she's shooting a movie out in the UK at the moment right now. Yeah. So Lioness is the name of the show. Name of the movie, not the show. But she's out there. She's doing, so she won't be here tomorrow. So I'm actually taking. Sometimes I take Wednesdays off. I'm going to take tomorrow off because tomorrow I'm going to shoot the reaction to the Into the Spider-Verse with Sam.
Nice.
And we're shooting No Way Home today. We're shooting Into the Spider-Verse tomorrow. So we're going to use that time, because then I go and I see Snow White tomorrow night. You seeing Snow White tomorrow night?
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Those reactions came out, early reactions, and they're like, and I said, I think it was a comic book movie, like, and the reactions were different than you would think. And I said, it was a premiere, so it's going to be different than, oh my god, it's so good, everything's great. Most of it was just influencers. I saw our friend Ash Crossan, who actually had a reaction out there too. But the premieres, you got to take the premieres with a grain of salt.
You have to do it. You have to. You don't know. I mean, because people want to get invited back to those premieres, so they're not going to crap on the movie. Now, I'm not saying
less than that, though. But John, it's less than that. It's also if you've been to these premieres, and you know the energy is significantly different in a screen there, because here's the reason. Let's say that Rachel Zegler and her group of her family or friends and everybody else and the producers and everybody else are sitting right near you. Well, guess what? That energy is going to transfer over to you. Because they're going to go, and you're going to, oh my, what's happening? And it's this big, and it's why they invite people for a reason, to get caught up in all of it and to get every that. I'm not saying it's not like, of course they want to get back and they want to, but I still think that Disney understands sometimes that people will go and say, it wasn't very good. And if you want them to be there, you want them to be there. But the energy is so different at a premiere that I don't take it serious. To not that I don't take the reviewers serious. You're caught up in in the same way that when they fly people out to the junkets in you're going to Hawaii. Yeah. Well, let me guess, you like the movie a little bit better than you probably would have if you saw it at 10 o'clock at night. You drive an hour to get to Burbank. You know what I mean? So anyway, but you do the same thing I do. You take it with a grain of salt.
I do take the initial ones with a grain of salt now more than ever, because we've seen so many people glow about a movie like, say, Flash, and then the other critics who weren't invited and weren't at CinemaCon, caught up in the exclusivity of that, watch it and have a different point of view. Now, listen, I want to go in and enjoy the movie. I feel that way when I go into every movie. I want to like every movie when I go in, but it doesn't always work out that way. And for me, I like to think that I pride myself on, premiere or not premiere. I'm still going to tell you the truth. I didn't like Eternals. I went to that premiere and I immediately tweeted about how much I didn't like it. And then I went to the premiere of something else and didn't really like it. And so I like that I keep it. I try to keep it 100 as much as possible. But I think you bring up interesting points. People who go to these things sometimes are invited and they get caught up in the energy and they go to the after party and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And also people who are in our industry and want to maintain their status in our industry and want to keep interviewing directors and actors and whatever, they're not going to maybe give their real honest opinion. So you've always got to take these things with a grain of salt. Wait till everybody sees it like tomorrow night. Then you're going to have a big, fuller idea of the film. And if those people come out like us, come out of these critic screenings tomorrow night and we're excited about it, then I think overall it's going to hopefully strike a chord with people.
Yeah, I'm curious how they're going to do it, because I've always said I think Rachel Zegler's biggest hurdle is her interviews, not her acting. Her acting is really good. I think her acting is good. I think her social, like I say to you guys, I don't understand why people get on social media and do everything that they do. I think it hurts people's careers in general. I just think it's a bad thing, social media. But her acting, I thought she was really good in the Hunger Games. I thought she in the whatever is it, the Ballad of Song and Farts or whatever. I like that movie, so I just say that because I can't remember the name of it. Song and Fire, I think. I like that movie. But she was, even though Shazam 2 didn't do very, she was fine in that.
Yeah.
So
West Side Story. She's great.
I don't mind her performances. I'm curious to see what she's going to do. I know you're a massive Gal Gadot fan, so I'm sure you're
big time. But you notice all these first reactions, none of them mention Gal, and there's a reason for that, y'all. So I have a feeling,
I do like Gal Gadot a lot. I think she's a great actor.
An interview with her.
I think she's a great actor. I like her very much.
Such a liar.
You want to hear me say anything else? I don't mind her as much as you do. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, because you're not an actor. When you're an actor, mustard.
That's right. 100%. Okay. Look, before we get into anything else, as people point out to me
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Every 3 months or so, I either mention that I worked for Joel Silver, or I mentioned that I was running for WWE, is what the fans tell me. Well, the reason I worked for Silver and got my start in that industry at all, working in development and all that, it didn't start working at Alcon. I said I worked at Alcon when I did the Knights of the Republic thing, but my first job was actually an intern at Village Roadshow. That is where I got my start in all this. My buddy Fred Klein, who ran a great intern program over there, got a lot of people jobs and a lot of things too. Village Roadshow was a great place for me in general. It started my film career, my film industry. There is news today that Village Roadshow files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Ouch, a la Rusk. Village Roadshow Entertainment Group, the renowned film producer and financier that has backed the Matrix, Ocean's 11, Joker, and the Lego Movie, has filed for bankruptcy protection in the U.S. The company filed for Chapter 11 in Delaware on Monday with, hey, we're in Delaware. On Monday with $223.8 million in asset-backed secured notes and $163.1 million of senior secured debt, according to court documents. The news comes amid a long drawn out and expensive legal battle with its long-standing partner Warner Brothers of the Matrix Resurrections of 2020-21 sequel to the sci-fi series. Village Roadshow has sued for breach of contract after W released a feature on Max the same day as theaters. Now I don't know enough about it. All I can tell you is that there was, a lot of back and forth with, I think, different leadership. The leadership that is there now was not the same leadership when I was there. It was I was there in 2003 or something like that. So like tons of people who were there are now gone. So I don't know if it was the leadership or whatever it was, but you also look at the movies that they backed, and they backed a lot of bad ones towards the end. And when you have, and that shows you, that's some of the stuff that people wonder, right? Like when you say, why do budgets matter to you? Snyder says all the time, why do you care about budgets? Because a company like a Village Roadshow, which people don't understand how this works, it's not always just the studio where they're getting their money. You're getting your money from financing companies like a Village Roadshow, right? And they're lending. So Village Roadshow will be there, and they were on the Warner Brothers lot, and they said, okay, look, or right outside of it. They say, all right, we're in on this one. They would basically, what would happen, and so I used to tell a story about like He-Man, the Masters Universe thing, right? In order, when I was trying to get that movie made, because Susan Downey, who had took the Wonder Woman thing to, like, the Wonder Woman thing didn't get where I was coming from for Masters of the Universe, and then I was trying to go somewhere else, and I said, well, what I probably would have to do is go to a Village Roadshow or Legendary, who are going to put the money behind it, and then say, hey, they're on board, they like it, so we've got money already for this thing.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to the studio because Village Roachow's attached and all this other stuff. And that's what they would do. And they did that they did that for The Matrix. They did that for all those other movies, the Lego movie. And so when those movies, those companies go under like this, it makes it difficult to make movies. So people are like, oh, why does it matter? What do you care about the budgets? This is why you want companies like this to be able to thrive. Because you want, it's not just the studio. It's they're getting it from different places, international, all these things. So I don't know. You hear this news, John. What do you make of it?
Well, it's a shame. I grew up remembering that logo in front of how many VHSs before I would watch these great movies that Village Roadshow was attached to, and then of course in the theater as well. And so it's just a shame when you see these studios or these distribution companies or these companies that put out these films going bankrupt or filing for Chapter 11, because it's yet another part of the stuff that was like the foundation of you enjoying movies going away or being taken down. And the fact that they're in a battle here with Warner Brothers, I mean, Warner Brothers is a messy bitch. Let's tell the fucking truth, man. Warner Brothers is a messy bitch. Like all kinds of stuff going on with what they did. This decision to go in day and date because of COVID caused all kinds of damage to their brand amongst creatives, amongst
fans. Lost Nolan. They lost Nolan because of it.
Yeah, they lost Nolan, and then this battle here. Now your Village Roadshow is suing you because of what you did, but instead of understanding where they're coming from, maybe finding a good middle ground and settling this thing, because you need a company like Village Roadshow around, you're gonna force them into bankruptcy just so you can win this battle. And then what happened over the weekend? They took down all the Looney Tunes content from Max. So it's like, why are they such a messy bitch? Like, I just don't
with a Looney Tunes movie coming out during the week.
Looney Tunes movie coming out. What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you trying to make? They are messy right now. It's a mess. Still, there's rumors of who they're gonna have run the damn thing. Like nobody even knows. So this is part. You're right. You're 100% right. This is part of the sloppy mess that is Warner Brothers at the current moment in time. But there's a shot that they could really have a turnaround year. Like they've got quite a few movies out coming out.
Yeah, but they're all in trouble. The Bride is not testing well. The Paul Thomas Anderson film got mixed. Minecraft's going to sink like a stone.
You think so?
Oh yeah, that looks terrible.
Yeah, but that's looking terrible.
Strong.
looking terrible doesn't mean that there's not a massive audience behind it.
You're right.
If you, I mean, just because you and I, it was after our time, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a lot of people lined up to see it. So I think that movie's going to do pretty well.
Okay.
But I wonder what else does Warner Brothers have coming out?
As I said, The Bride.
The hell was that?
Listen, Jenna.
Who is that? Is that you or me?
Feels so right, it almost feels wrong.
Why would I just start doing that out of nowhere? Just start doing that out of nowhere. It's been the same article that's been sitting up there
for a second.
No, what was that? It's out of nowhere. Just started. I wish it was a porn. We've been better than that.
Is this your first day? Is this your first day?
Is this your first day? Yeah, sure. Let me show you. We'll teach you what we do to interns on the first day. Sure, show me.
Yeah, what you've got Minecraft, you've got Sinners, which
Sinners will do
well. Yeah. The Accountant 2, Final Destination, F1, but that's really an Apple film. The Bride, as I said, Mortal Kombat 2, which come on. And that's it. That's pretty much it. And the Conjuring film. So those are those films that are coming out for more.
That's it. That's all they got coming out.
Pretty
this
much
whole year.
That's what I'm seeing here, looking at the Wikipedia lineup.
Okay. What about nothing? They had nothing coming out. I know that this week I did want to see it. I know you don't. You have no interest in it at all. Is the
Gal Gadot?
No. The De Niro one, the Alto Nights. I know you have no interest in that whatsoever.
Okay.
I get
streaming on that.
I was gonna go. There's a screening for it, but it's tomorrow. No, it was today. It was today. It was today at like 10 a.m. and I would have had to like cancel this show. I would have had to cancel some other things, and I would have had to cancel the reaction with Sam. And so I saw somebody, and I understand this, by the way. I saw a comment recently said that they were upset that, or they were bummed, rather, I should say, that I don't review as many movies and that I normally do, like some of the bigger releases, and I don't review as many as I used to which I completely understand why someone would write that. But what I was going to tell you, though, what people should think about that is that you look at something like Alto Nights, right? Which I'll probably wind up watching and talking about on this show or something too. If I cancel the live show, if I cancel the reaction in order to do that, I'm going and paying on the train both ways. And I got to pay John today. I got to pay people tomorrow. I got to pay people on Wednesday. I got to pay people on Thursday. Is that worth it for me, business-wise, to go and see it? Because how many of you guys honestly are going to click on my out of the theater reaction for Alto Nights? Probably not a lot of you.
Right.
And that's why it's hard. That's why it's hard for in order to do that all the time, because the screenings when I used to in LA, it was easier. The screening's 15 minutes away. I get back in time. I can do it. I got to go into the city. It takes 45 minutes 35 minutes, 40 minutes to get there, depending where the screening is. It could take another 15, 20 minutes to get there too. So, you're looking at like a total of 4 to 5 hours I'm taking out of the day.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot to ask.
So that's it.
That's the thing. People got to understand, man, this is a business. And especially now that you've crossed that 100, 150, you're getting close to 200, like there are cuts that have to be made. There are decisions that have to be made because there's much more involved than just let me be a movie review type of guy. There's more involved in it. And so there are decisions that have to be made. So certain films that look like they're not going to hit. And look at the box office from this weekend, Black Bag and Novocaine. And so why are you going to do that?
You know what? We'll come back. When we come back, I'm going to go to break real quick, but that's a great thing to do. We'll do the box office when we get back. But so that's why I wanted, and like I said, I actually took that as it was a bit humbling, to be honest, when I saw that.
Nice that people want to hear.
It was very nice. It was like, because I understand it. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd love to go and do as many of these as I could and throw out as many of these out of the theater reactions for you guys, no matter what they were, but it's just hard for my schedule. But okay. So that being said, I am also very excited. If you want to support the channel and you want a chance to do, you got to listen. I try to give you some ideas of new sponsors, and people that you're going to really enjoy. And I'm going to tell you about 2 great ones right now, and we'll talk about them after the break. Here you go. I've had BS headphones for when I was playing games on my Xbox forever, and I said I have to get something great. Well, guess what? You know that feeling that you get when you're booting up your favorite game for the first time? You're turning it on, you're like, oh, here we go. The late night sessions, the epic wins, the sound of the lobby filling up with friends. Gaming, it just wasn't something you did. It was a whole experience. And the right headset makes all the difference. Turtle Beach is bringing that feeling back with the Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset. It's like stepping into the golden age of gaming all over again. Only this time, the audio, it's richer, the surround sound is more immersive, and the battery lasts an insane 80 hours. No more crackling mics, no more missed callouts, just pure, uninterrupted gaming, exactly the way you remember it, but better. For a limited time only, you can get 10% off your entire order if you use the code Kristian at turtlebeach.com. Don't miss out. Stay warm and level up your game with 10% off at turtlebeach.com. Use that code Kristian. This is what I did. I got the thing, put it on. I've been playing the Indiana Jones game. I've been doing these other things, and I just like sound. For me is the most important. You guys know it. I talk about music and movies all the time, but surround sound to me and the way that it sounds when especially when I'm playing a game, all the little things that you miss when you don't have headphones like this, that's what these Turtle Beach Gen 3 Stealth 700 headsets do. They're the best. You'll love it. You got to head to turtlebeach.com, use that code Kristian one more time for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com. Use that code Kristian. They're going to purchase it. You're going to purchase it. They're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You got to support our show, and you have to tell them that we sent you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. When you get these, I really want you to not only tell them, but then come back and tell me, what did you think about them? I think you're going to love them, and you're going to go, I'm never going back. Turtle Beach. It's springtime, and spring cleaning is coming. It's happening in my house. We're getting rid of old toys and other things, too, and, well, giving them away to places. But things you just don't need. You start moving them away. And I'm excited to get rid of all the old deodorants that I've had, Gonski, because as I've been telling you forever, I use Mando. I love Mando. I've been using Mando whole body deodorant, and it's just a game changer. They are the founders of Lumi. Mando whole body deodorant is helping men conquer their odor in a new way. I like it because it's natural, makes me feel good. It's noticeable that it's working, and that is exactly why I love them. You can use them on anything. It doesn't matter what you pitch, your arms, your legs, your nuts, everything. It's the best. Hey, get stinky nuts? Not anymore? Use Mando. It'll help. There's a special offer. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code and link. You got to use that code Kristian at shopmando.com. That is SHOP Mando.com. Love Mando. Really love Mando. Love using them. I would suggest using the bourbon one. There's so many different ones that work, so many different scents. So check them out. Browse on the site. Use that code Mando. Hey, Mando. Love Mando and Turtle Beach. How about Turtle Beach? Please tell me you guys are going to get your headphones from Turtle Beach. You're going to really, really love it, and use that code. You get such a great discount. So both of them. Told you about some great peeps there. So hope you are taking advantage of those. All right, we got some more stories. And John, you mentioned the box office. Yeah. So let's just do it. Let's get to the box office here. And here is said box office. So as John mentioned, you got Novocaine with 8.7. That's the weekend. Wow. Mickey 17 at 7.5. Black Bag at 7.5. Captain America Brave New World at 5.5. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie at 3.2. That's really upsetting. Well, first of all, the thing wasn't marketed at all. I didn't see any ads. Was coming out. Yeah, nobody knew it was. And that's it's hilarious. I said to my wife, I was like, let's go take the kids to go see something. I knew that movie was out, and I forgot. I said, I could taking the kids to see that. The families didn't even come out to see that one. Yeah. So that's a bummer. That's a big bummer. But what do you make of all this?
A lot of people are complaining about here we go. These are quote unquote original films, although Novocaine is, I don't know how original Novocaine is. It is one man trying to stop these people from doing something terrible. But certainly these other films that came out over the weekend, have some originality to it, aren't necessarily connected to overall franchises, and people didn't go see. Like Black Bag, how is Soderbergh only getting 7 million, 7.5 million, or whatever it was for a film like this with Fassbender, Blanchett? So I'm still keep the jury out in my mind about how people
like to answer that question, though, John. I like to answer that question.
Yep.
Those are not the kind of movies that people go to see in theaters anymore.
And that's what I was saying. I was going to keep my mind, like my jury's still out a little bit on that, but it seems to be moving towards that, Kristian. I think you're right. Quite a few people have been saying that same thing, that we've conditioned ourselves since COVID. People are happy to wait for these films to show up. They're not event films anymore,
Right.
and it's only the really big stuff that they go see and have to rush out to go see.
Well, it's similar to what I was just talking about for my reviews, right?
Yes, right.
It's similar because I want to see all these. I want to see that movie. I love Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you that if I would have seen that movie, or maybe Novocaine would have done decent. Novocaine, out of all those movies, by the way, had the best marketing.
Yes,
It
agreed.
shows you can have great marketing. Look at Fall Guy. Fall Guy had great marketing. Ate a bag of donuts. And so this movie, I mean, how much? Here's the difference. So where Fall Guy costs a lot of money, what was the budget on Novocaine?
I think it was 25.
Right. So and it's made 10.5 so far.
Yeah.
I mean, not the best, but like no one. I don't think Jack Quaid's not like a massive movie star.
18 million. That's not bad. Yeah.
Look, if it builds, and apparently it's a really good movie.
Yes, it is. I saw it. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. The relationship isn't quite where you want it to be, so that like idea of why he's doing the things he's doing isn't as strong. There's a real fun twist in the movie, but like to me, I thought Jack Quaid was great, and it was a fun time. It's a fun Saturday afternoon matinee movie. You just have a little fun with it and roll on by. But yeah, it does not deserve only 10.5 over the weekend.
Well, but wait, but that's what you just said. You just said it's a Sunday matinee, right?
Saturday matinee movie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You do this for a living, right?
Yeah.
If you only, I always use one of our incredible members / patrons and artist of the comic book, the Capes and Cows, Wicked Art.
Yeah,
he has a family that they decide, okay, we have a budget that we're going to use for the year, for movies, and we pick X amount of movies, because when you're going with kids, your significant other, treats, that's a night out, man. That's a night out. That hits you in the pocket. So your question is, all right, it's a matinee, but is it something that should he put that one on his list?
I don't think so.
Right. Right. That's right. That is why, because he knows in the same way that you just said, because he knows probably in about 3 weeks to a month from now, if he wants to see it, he can watch it on streaming. It'll be out. The window's so quick now. It's 30 days.
Mickey 17 is out in the next few days on streaming. Yeah.
Right. Because if it doesn't do very well, they say, oh, look, we got to take our chance with putting it on demand and see people buy it there. Yeah. And that's what you have to do. You got to take that theater expense out of it. It's a very different market now, what it used to be.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And that's why if you're going to do small, you make Mickey 17, the biggest error of Mickey 17 is it costs $130 million or whatever it costs.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, that's right there. That's for the Warner Brothers people. That's a potential fireable offense.
Listen, well, that's what that report was over the last few days from Kim Masters on Puck News, detailing how Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca might be in some trouble here at Warner Brothers, because they've been a little loose with the checkbook on some of these films that are coming out this year. Like they gave Maggie Gyllenhaal $100 million to do a musical about the Bride of Frankenstein. Like what? And how much they gave? How much? $100 million. $100 million. Wow. They gave Bong Joon-ho 130 million. I think they gave Coogler over 100.
Okay, but wait. So Coogler, I get.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Coogler, I get. Okay, look, I would still, if I was them, say, look, it's a horror vampire movie. Can we get it down to 70?
Yeah,
can we do 70, 60, 70? Like that's what I would hope. If you could, if you really had to push it to 100. The other two, those are people living in their Hollywood fantasy bubble. They're living in a bubble. They're going, well, everybody wants to see the new Bong Joon-ho movie. Everybody wants to see that.
Yeah,
it's not. That's not the case. And by the way, his other movies, the last one he did was Parasite, was like $20 million.
Well, yeah, that's the irony. The Mickey 17 is the opening weekend, was the biggest opening weekend of Bong Joon-ho's career, yet the film is considered a bit of a flop or an underperformer.
Because you can't, it's too niche.
Yeah.
You can't give a movie like that much. Well, it's Bong Joon-ho.
Especially when you make the creator for 80. You make the creator for 80, you tell me there's a difference here? Yeah.
No. And then Maggie Gyllenhaal making that. I mean, that's terrible. That's people going, well, it's Maggie Gyllenhaal. Like everyone at your wine and cheese parties.
Yeah.
At your wine and cheese parties, everybody's going to be excited that Maggie Gyllenhaal is showing up. The audience here doesn't give a shit that she's directing it. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. I should rewind it. They might give a shit that she's doing the movie, but they don't give a shit enough to put that on the list I just brought up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, look, oh, that's cool. When it comes out on Amazon Prime or whatever it comes out, we'll watch it. But I'm not going to pay. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like no brainer stuff. And it's like they're making movies like it's 2008.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
You know, even the PTA one, this is from IndieWire. Some reports are pegging it at $180 million. Wow. Even though some people are saying it might be 130, but there's rumors or there's reports out there that's $180 million they gave to PTA. What are you doing? What are you doing? He did Licorice Pizza with his last.
If you're him, why do you want to make a movie with that budget?
Because these people want to make their money. They want to line their pockets. You know how it is, man. Everyone's caught up with this idea of artistry, artists, creative.
I know the artist creative to me is like, okay, you know what? Give me 30. Watch what I do with 30.
Yeah.
Watch what I do with 30.
Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself.
I'll do it for 30 and give me a shit ton of points.
Right.
And watch what I do.
The back end.
Yeah. Look what Jason Blum does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He makes movies for $35 and 3 candy bars. And he winds up making a profit. Dude, the guy made a movie about a haunted pool. And it made money. It made money because how much did that movie make overall? What was it? I always forget. Swim Pool. What the hell is that stupid movie called?
Yeah, Night Swim.
Whatever. Night Swim box office mojo. Right? It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's a piece of shit movie. It's brilliant.
It made 55.
It made 55. It couldn't have cost more than 6.
No, it cost 15, but 55 is still pretty good. Okay,
15 million, 55 overall.
Yeah, exactly.
On a haunted pool movie. And they can't get a Bong Joon-ho movie to make 30. Whatever it made, you know, but like insane. Like it's like yeah.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, finish.
I do want to say one thing for you all who hear us talking about this and you think it's just as crazy. I cannot recommend The Studio enough. We're 6 episodes in. It's a new series coming to Apple TV Plus with Seth Rogen,
man.
It is a perfect film for the time, or series for the time right now, taking down the idea of how these movies get made, how people get budgets, and the madness of it all behind the scenes. It's very funny, but it's also like it stops you cold at certain moments if you realize how much of this might be true behind the scenes and how crazy it is. So yeah, everything you're talking about, absolutely.
Well, I just heard you rave about it. Josh Horowitz just posted about it. He's raving about it. So
yeah,
that's good to know because I like those guys. So all right, box office. Everybody thinks
it's too much money.
Yeah, everybody thinks that. Well, regardless of it, whether or not it's a massive opening or not, everybody knows that Snow White's going to win next weekend because it's the only game in town.
Right.
Probably make between 55 and 60 million. I will tell you though.
Yeah,
this is the thing, and I mention it every single time. I don't know where we were. Oh, we were at my daughter's gymnastics, my 7-year-old. An ad for Snow White. She was on a break. She was drinking water, my little one, and this ad for Snow White came up. And she goes, "Oh!" She's like, "I gotta see Snow White." She's not paying attention to anything going on in the news, Twitter, any of that. All she sees, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. That's all she sees, and she wants to go see it. That is what they are banking on. They are banking on the 7-year-olds, and they're hoping that's who's going to say, who cares about the press? Who cares about that stuff? Let's get those kids in the theater, because her eyes lit up when she saw it. And I said, oh, that's really interesting how that's going to play. So we'll see. It's going to win. The question is how much, and we'll see after tomorrow's reviews what it's set like, because you and I are not going to, there's no world where we come out of the theater reaction unscathed, right? Like I already thought about it. There's 2 versions of this, right? Or even 3. I'll give you version 1.
Yes,
guys, I'll tell you, it was. I was expecting it to be terrible, and it was decent. It was okay. Hey, you fucking shill! Of course you like the movie. Hey, shill! That's part 1. Part 2.
Disney check cleared.
Yeah. Part 2. This was terrible. This movie was as bad as you thought it was. It doesn't work. It's awful. oh, what's a grown man going to see kids movies for? Oh yeah, you know what? What do you hate women too? Because she's Latina. And then the mid one. Yeah, it was all right. It was fine. When did you say you really feel? You can't win.
Yeah.
You can't win.
Of course you can't win.
One of those three.
Yeah, you can't win.
Any one of those three is exactly what's going to happen. And I've already thought about it. Like, there's no win. Like, because one of those three that I just mentioned will be how I feel about the movie.
Ditto.
One of those three. And it's like, okay, let's see. All right, here we go. And I'm just and it's gonna be okay. I'm a chauvinist. I don't like Latino women. I don't like, it's gonna get into politics about the war. If that's part one. And again, if I go decent, it's decent. It's not bad. Oh, you're fucking chill. Just can't win. Hilarious.
Mine will have a little extra, like a 1B, where it'll be like, "You're Latino. How can you be against her? You should be supporting her. Why aren't you supporting her?" Right. Of course he liked it. She's Latina. He's been talking about representation, so of course he liked it. So yeah, you have those little elements, and it's what's the basis of it all? No, it's all. I'm fucking mad that you get to do what I want to do, and I don't get to do it, and I'm unhappy in my job, and I'm sad you get a job and make a living doing this, and I'm jealous.
I think it's true for some people, for sure. Other people are just, I think there's some people who are just angry and don't realize it. And then there are people who pop up. Like I always say, like my new response to people when they say, because I'll get on this same review tomorrow night. I can see into the future, John. I'll get somebody who says that I hate everything now. You can't take me serious because I hate everything. And then 5 seconds afterwards, it's going to say like, this guy loves everything. He loves everything. So the way I respond to both those people, it's like, you guys got to do me a favor. You have to go and be at the same meetings together, because at the meeting on the board, they brought up now that I don't like everything. So if you're going to the meeting saying that I do, then clearly you're not listening to one another. So you got to listen to each other. You got to go to the meetings. So the meetings have been shit, and you should ask for your membership back.
Yeah. And the haphazard way these studios pay us, they supposedly pay us.
Supposedly, you're right. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Is you don't want to lose you don't want to lose your perks. What perks do I have? What perks do I have? What perks?
I get to see the movie 2 days before you do. These are my perks.
What perks? I want to know what perks. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I mean, no, I didn't say it. In no world did I say it was just for kids. No world did I say that. Stop saying that, please. In no world did I say that. Did not say that.
Thing? Oh God, let it go, man. I blocked that.
But he just said that it's just not for kids. I'm very aware. Very aware. It's going to be marketed towards them though. And it's going to be marketed, and my little one is excited for it, and they can get the kids to go see it. It's going to make money. So, all right, let's get to this. They're bringing Conan back.
Bing, bing.
Smart. Yeah, very smart. It was expected, but now it's official. And Conan O'Brien will return to host the 98th Oscars telecast on March 15th, 2026. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced the news today and comes off rave reviews for O'Brien's stint in the role, alongside with a 5-year ratings high for the telecast. There you go. Both views 19,000 and whatever it is, 19.69 million, and adults 18 to 49, 4.54. Okay, that's just that particular thing. So let's just talk about that.
Yeah,
this is the smart move. In the same way, it's a smart move that Nikki Glazer's coming back for the Golden Globes.
Yeah, 100%.
Play off. This is smart by both organizations. They say, hey, people liked it, the reviews were good, and people really dug it. Not like, oh, what do we got to do now? If we don't bring in so and so, they're going to say that we're this or going to do this. Who did good for you? Who's doing well for you? And there you go. The guy, and he was great, and he balanced it out at a perfect. He took shots at people. He did a good thing, but he kept it lights. Conan O'Brien, same thing with Nikki Glaser. She was the best Golden Globes host they've had in I can't even tell you how many years. This is very smart. This is a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, 100% on both sides. I mean, I love that Conan's coming back, because Conan, when I did my reaction to the whole thing, I love the fact that he was appropriately honoring and deferential to movies and to the great directors and actors, but also willing to take the piss out of certain moments in certain situations, even calling out the Kendrick Lamar Drake feud, which I thought was really funny. The jokes with the firefighters guys was really fun and good. And so there was a great feeling of like, okay, we're in good hands with Conan. And so the fact that he's coming back and they locked him down this early, really smart. Same thing with Nikki. And I think this helps both of them, like both of them as well. Like it's with Crystal, it was like a chore to get him to say yes or no. But for Conan and Nikki, these are great new challenges for them. And so they're very excited to do well on both of these, in both of these situations. Conan's never hosted an award show like this, and he knocked it out of the park. So let's keep going. Nikki is still kind of up and coming in terms of being like mainstream, really well known. This is another thing that helped her out. So great. Let's move. This could be a whole nother part of her career to host these kinds of shows. So it's so great that both these organizations lock them both down, man.
Yes, smart move. It's like pay attention to what's working. Pay attention with what's working.
Exactly.
And clearly, it's working for both these hosts, and people are going to
bring people back to watch. I think as well, Kristian. Yeah,
and it looks like both of them had fun because normally those jobs are so thankless, right?
Yeah,
and especially both of those jobs. I mean, look at poor Joe Coy last year. You know, like really good comedian. He was terrible in the Golden Globes. Terrible. He's a great comedian. Terrible on that show. It's not for everybody. Not everybody knows how to do it. Nikki Glaser wanted to do it and had fun doing it, and she's going now that she knows she's doing it again.
Yeah.
And she's got all these. That's the other thing is they usually lock the hosts in. I mean, I guess Conan was locked in pretty far out in advance, but now with the year out, you start watching the movies a little earlier. You start coming up with jokes a little earlier. You start paying attention to it. Very smart move.
Yeah.
All right, John. Let's talk about the Russo brothers thing first. Let's talk about because I saw you going out at just in general what they said about AI, and I guess the fact that they said that and I'm paraphrasing. You can tell me whether or not it's right. That essentially AI is going to be a tool that people are going to be using. People are talking negatively about it now because they don't truly understand it. And most movies, most directors, most studios are going to be using it in general in the future. And that kind of set you off a little bit. Is that the gist of what was?
Well, I just think they have a sliding scale of whatever works for them at that time. They were the ones who were like, streaming is the way to go. We always need to think about streaming. And what's the other comment? Oh, Harvey Weinstein ruined mainstream films for people by having independent films win the Oscars. And now nobody and then now with AI, right? Oh, we got to be, we got to respect the artist, respect the creative. Oh, AI is the way to go. Nobody understands it but us directors. And and people need to calm down and explore it more. It's more of this kind of thing that to me screams an arrogance of elitism, which if I could show your box offices, you should shut the hell up about what you're talking about because you're not doing well on the director side of things outside of Marvel. Yet here you are pontificating about the greatness of AI. And as I said in my tweet, there's a reason the DGA signed their deal before any of the guilds. And the other guilds were the ones who were fighting against the AI stuff and the strikes. And it's because a majority of the directors, even the ones you all worship and swing off their poles for, are behind the scenes, do really see themselves as irreplaceable, but everybody else as replaceable. I remember talking to a couple of directors, and I heard this term from them early on in my career. Actors are movable props. And that is insane. And so there is a mentality. And I think Joe is speaking this part out loud in the interview. And no matter what they say, oh, no, we love the actors. We love it. Bullshit. It's all really about the directors wanting to put across their vision. And they'll use AI. And AI is going to put a lot of people out of work, a lot of production departments out of work. Because as it gets more and more honed, they're going to want to default to this more and more. And you're going to be able to make films possibly for cheaper and quicker. And so the studios aren't going to care about the unemployment stuff. And so this is what I find really arrogant for a director of his stature to be so casual about AI and the usage of it and scoffing at people who might question.
Well, I don't think I don't think he's scoffing at people. I first of all, I understand all of your points. I think they're all very well said, and I understand where you're coming from as far as the performing everything too. I do think that there's something to be said about what he's saying about it is going to, and people don't like, I've said this before, and people don't like it. It is going to be part of society. It already is.
Of course.
It's going to be part of the tools, and it's going to be, you always see things like, oh, you got to get ahead of it now because people who do get ahead of it are going to leave you in the dust in the same way like when computers were starting to hit back in the 80s and stuff. Like, you got to start learning how to use computers. I don't need computers. I got my hands. I got this. And then those people were out of jobs. And it's like, you do have to lock in. And I think that's essentially what he's saying, is that you can use the tools for good. I think it was good for the strikes that they were able to make deals for the writers and the actors because of AI, and they're going to continue to do that because there's going to be more deals and there's going to be other things that AI is continuously moving. But he's not wrong. It's not going anywhere. People do and I think that's more or less saying in the same way that you get that ad I just talked about of hey, AI is here to stay. You got to figure it out and use it because people are going to start using it. And if you don't, you're going to get left out. And I think that that's essentially what Joe Russo is saying.
Yes, but he's also saying it from a place of well, I'm sorry, everyone else is going to lose their job. I'm going to be good, but I'm sorry, everyone else.
And read that way.
And that's why I added to my tweet, or my post, whatever you want to say. But he's going to sing a different tune. The second studios go, you know what? We don't really need directors anymore. We can just get a YouTuber who's really doing great AI work with their movies, and that we see these fan films on YouTube all the time that are sometimes just as good as anything of these renowned directors make. And just hire this guy for way less money, have them use AI to do everything. Then you put out the movie, and now these directors are out of a job. And so these are the things. He's operating from a place of, I would say, how can I say this? Creative privilege, by saying all this stuff and not saying, well, I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to make sure we only use a little bit of AI on this because I respect the workers and the productions team and all these different production sections of my film. No, he's saying people need to stop being afraid. It's going to happen. They're overblowing chicken littling about this stuff. And it's actually, I think it's a bit arrogant to come across from that position,
Well, I have some good news for you, because I know that you have had your beef with Big Balls. He's not here right now.
Oh no.
He's not coming around. I know you have some beef, but I do know that later on, before we go to the questions, he has a beef with AI.
Who has a beef with AI?
Big Ball. What? He wants to debate AI on the air. Is what he told me. He wants to debate. He wants to debate him. So I told him that he could have about 3 minutes on the show today that he could debate. He's going to debate AI, and we're going to let the audience come up with the topic. So, but it's got to be pop culture related. You guys have Big Balls is going to debate AI later. You have to tell me what you want him to debate. But right before we go with the questions, Big Balls will be here, and that'll be very soon. But
come for the Kristian Harloff show. Stay for the Big Balls improv.
That's right. It's not improv. Debate with AI.
They're yelling out topics from the stands.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Good point. New Avengers to have a focused narrative. Speaking of the Russos, the Russo brothers say the upcoming Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars films are set to provide something that's been kind of lacking of late at Marvel, a coherent overall narrative.
Oh, sure.
That's right. Marvel Studios' Infinity Saga was built almost like a 90s genre TV season. Thanos served as the big bad who slowly emerges. The first two Avengers films were essentially the two mid-season two-parters. Some episodes were key to the overall narrative, whereas others were standalones off on their own tangents, and it all accumulated in a jumbo-sized two-part finale. The multiverse saga, in comparison, has been chaotic. It's being nice. Films and TV shows have seemed to do their own thing without a grander plan in mind, and sometimes contradicting each other. Loki and Ant-Man teased one only to scrap it, and there's been no real consistent through line. Speaking with the Sunday Times to promote the Electric State, Anthony Russo explains that part of the draw for them was reining in as a Marvel universe that has expanded perhaps a bit too drastically. So the MCU has gone quite large, that's for sure. I mean, frankly, we struggle with that same issue, but part of the reason Joe and I decided to go back is exactly what you're talking about. There needs to be more of a central narrative. That was something we were very specific about when we worked with Marvel before. We would like to bring the focus narrative back. It's expected that the new films will serve as a soft reboot, shrinking the universe to a single sacred timeline in which Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men are more all together. Speaking with the Omelette, now I'm hungry, Joe Russo explains that their job with these films isn't so much to cap off the messy multiverse saga as it is to kick off a whole new and much more coherent new arc. What's compelling about these two Avengers movies is that it's a new beginning. We are told an ending story. Now we're going to tell a beginning story. Who knows where we'll go from there? Maybe it'll be another 5 years. I think we just need that time and perspective to figure out where it needed to go next. And the only thing that brought us back was the right story. Key to it would be Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. Asked why have Downey Jr. come back rather than a new actor. Anthony says we can't explain that as it's part of the story, but there's nobody else in the world who could play this character the way he's about to. You and I are going to be on such different pages here. I love these comments. I love them. I love these comments so much, but you hate them. Why?
No. I don't. I think the comments are great. It's kind of interesting to come and create a streamlined narrative now at the tail end of these particular phases, but it does seem to indicate that they are staying on past the 2 Secret Wars movies. Because why would you say we're going to do a cohesive narrative? We're going to do all of this. We're going to start a beginning if you're not going to stick around to make sure it reaches its end point, because you're crowing about how you're going to do all this. And clearly they're saying all of this stuff with Kevin Feige's blessing, who clearly wants to get out of the multiverse saga as quickly as possible. I was only laughing at the last thing where they say nobody else but Robert Downey Jr. could play Doctor Doom, and there's like 40 actors.
Oh, wait. But no. That's not what they're saying. They're saying we can't tell you why because it has part of the story, but because of the story that we are telling specifically, there was no actor that could do it. That's probably tying into the Tony Stark stuff. So there couldn't be anybody else that does it.
Oh, maybe. It might be good.
But I read that.
Actor could play it. There's no actor could play it. So
I think it meant it more so because of how it's tying in, because he said I couldn't tell you. I can't tell you because it'll give away stuff. I agree with you 100% that I think the rumors are more so true about the X-Men stuff. I think they're going to be in charge of the X-Men stuff. Yes. I think that the narrative, because they pretty much if you ask them off air, off the record, they probably goes, who gives a shit about what came before in the phase 4 and 5? We can't fix that. We can't fix what it is. It's already a mess. We can't fix it. What we can fix is how we end it to begin it. Right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give you something really solid in those 3 movies of Doomsday into Spider-Man into Secret Wars, leading us into the new era, which is going to be X-Men and Fantastic Four, which we will help kind of usher in. We're going to, because that's what everyone's saying. And again, I don't disagree. I've talked to Mike about this. The major concern from a lot of people is there's no setup to this thing. You're just throwing us into the Avengers movies. They have to treat this like the first one is Fellowship of the Ring, that they're introducing you to the characters, they're putting everything together, and they're setting up this story that leads you into whatever happens in the events of Spider-Man 4, which leads you into Secret Wars, because all the other stuff, it doesn't matter. You'll get set. I think the Thunderbolts are going to have a pretty big role to play. Yes. And then you'll have that set up. But to them, it's all about, they just said it, setting up the next 10 years. Yeah. And that's
which I think is great. Is good. Like, great. Let's set it all up, make it work. But I think people need to prepare themselves that this is just like a merger, and some people are going to be fired. And I don't mean in the jobs of executives or creatives. I mean characters. Yeah. They are going to come in and they're going to streamline. And if they streamline, that means certain characters are probably going to be fired or let go or not seen again in the Marvel universe. So people need to be prepared for this. This is what's going to happen because they want to streamline it. And ironically, the people who were responsible for giving us movies with multiple characters within it are the ones saying that the Marvel universe got too big, it's got too many characters, so we're going to streamline it. And streamline it means getting rid of some characters. So people better get ready for that.
People get ready indeed. All right. So that's it for the stories at the moment. So make sure you put your comments in on all that, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on the replay. John currently stands at, I will tell you right now, John, 33 questions going into the question round. So hopefully we can get you to 100. Last week, Winston came back at the end of the show to win the whole week. So maybe John can set it and make it too far of a reach. We'll see. All right. I'm going to tell you guys about, we have really 2 other great sponsors I'm going to tell you about that you're going to love. And then we're going to get into the questions, but we will be doing the debate with Big Balls and AI. So make sure, give me some topics while we go to break, and then I'll pick one. Here we go. Did you know that Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the U.S. with thousands of different plants and over 2 million happy customers? They have all the plants your yard needs, like fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering trees, shrubs, and so much more. Whatever plants you're interested in, Fast Growing Trees has you covered. Find the perfect fit for your climate and space. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to get your dream yard. Order online and get your plants delivered directly to your door in just a few days without ever leaving home. Their Alive and Thrive guarantee ensures your plants arrive happy and healthy. Plus, get support from trained plant experts on call to help plan your landscape choose the right plants, and learn how to care for them. This was something the second it came in, and I was like, hey, they asked, do you want to learn more about fast growing trees? I said, yes, this is perfect. I sent it immediately to my wife, who started ordering a bunch of things. There's apples. That's what I'm talking about, apples. And there's so many different things that my wife started putting in the yard because of fast growing trees. We had 3 different really healthy plants show up to the house, and she just was over the moon. She said, don't mess this up. You got to keep them on. They're great. So we love them, and we have them in the backyard here. We're working on it in just kind of making the yard look even more beautiful than my wife originally had it. And fast growing trees helps that happen. It's just so much better than having to shop around for plants in person. You can get them, order them. Yeah, people you can talk to will help you kind of any questions you have about them. It's pretty great. And because every plant that they send, it comes with instructions. They have tips to care for the new plants, and they can grow to their fullest potential. It's really amazing. This spring, they have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners to our show get 15% off their first purchase when you use that code BIGTHING at checkout. That's an additional 15% at fastgrowingtrees.com. But you got to use that code BIGTHING at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code BIGTHING. Perfect time to plant. Use that Big Thing code to save today. The offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. You're going to love Fast Growing Trees. The great rewards hunt is on. So join the adventure with DraftKings Casino. For fun seekers, follow the trail to huge jackpots, weekly bonuses, and exclusive games. But the excitement is only getting started because new players can get 500 casino spins on a featured game. Just sign up with that code Harloff and wager a minimum of $5 to receive 500 casino spins on a featured game. Only on the most rewarding places to play, DraftKings Casino. The crowd is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for featured game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends April 27th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. DraftKings, fast growing trees. I'm telling you, I'm hooking you up. And I hope that you guys hook us up when you tell them we sent you. That's the most important thing. All right, John.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to do here is Big Balls is going to debate AI on why Kathleen Kennedy shouldn't be at Lucasfilm anymore.
Wow, that's a strong.
That's what he told me. That's what he wants to do. So we're gonna do it quick. We'll bring it up. Let's get him out here because he's ready to go. He's itching. He's itching.
Hey man, how's it going?
It's going good, man. How you doing?
Good. Give me some robot ass to kick it.
Oh, you want some robot ass? Okay, we'll get you some robot ass. You ready?
Yeah, motherfucker. I don't stutter.
All right, that's fine. All right, so we're gonna get Big Balls in here. We're gonna get the AI in here, and we're gonna ask. All right, you ready, Big Balls?
I'm ready. Okay, AI, listen. I think that Kathleen Kennedy should leave Lucasfilm forevers.
Base. Kathleen Kennedy's been steering Lucasfilm just fine. She's got a track record of big hits, and the franchise is still raking in cash. Why should she leave when she's keeping Star Wars alive? What's your real beef with her?
First of all, shut your fucking ass. And don't you dare use my voice. You use your real voice, you little bitch ass.
Whoa, chill out. I'm not using your voice. I've got my own, thanks. Let's get back to the point. You didn't answer me. What's your actual problem with Kathleen Kennedy? You're just yelling instead of making a case.
First of all, again, shut your ass. Okay, so here's the deal. She don't really know Star Wars. She thinks she knows some Star Wars, but she don't really know it. She's got lots of credits to her credit, but she doesn't know Star Wars. She can't tell you a Wookiee from a Schnookie. And I tell you right now, lady, I think that you can have anybody else except Kathleen Kennedy, and you make lots of monies.
Oh, please. You're talking out of your hat. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't need to be a Star Wars encyclopedia to run Lucasfilm. She's a producer, not a trivia nerd. She's got the business sense to keep it profitable, and that's what counts. A Wookiee from a Snooki? Cute, but irrelevant.
Hey, again, as I started before, and I'll start again. Shut your motherfucking robot ass. I'll tell you what right now. Here's another thing. She hadn't made a damn movie since 2019. What you gotta say about that? I paid $4.2 billion motherfucking dollars for this shit, and I don't have one motherfucking movie since 2019. What you gotta say that? What you gotta say that? Stanley Kubrick's AI, whatever the fuck you is?
All right, calm your ass down before you pop a vein.
Whoa.
No movie since 2019? Big deal. She's not sitting on her hands. Lucasfilm's been pumping out shows like The Mandalorian, which are raking in fans and cash. You didn't pay $4.2 billion, Disney did. And they're still profiting. Movies aren't the only game in town. What, you think streaming doesn't count? What's your next great genius?
Well, streaming? Okay, then how to do... I'll give you 2 words, and you explain it to me. The Acolyte. How did that do for you with streaming? $270 million or some shit, and they bombed it and canceled it after season 1. What's your answer now? Huh? Come on, War Games, what you got?
The Acolyte? Yeah, it tanked. I'll give you that. $270 million down the drain and canceled after 1 season. Ouch. But that's one misfire, not the whole picture.
Okay, how about Boba Fett? Not a misfire. That one ate shit too. What's your answer there? Want to talk about Skeleton Crew? You know who saw that? Nobody.
All right, Boba Fett was a letdown. I'll bite. Massive turd of a show. And Skeleton Crew? Barely a blip. You're right. Nobody cared. But you're cherry-picking flops like it's the whole story. Mandalorian's still a juggernaut. And Andor's got buzz.
Would you like to explain season 3 with Lizzo?
Season 3 of Mandalorian with Lizzo? Yeah. That cameo was a clown show, pure cringe, and it threw the vibe off. But one dumb guest spot doesn't tank the whole season. The show's still a cash cow and a fan magnet. You're acting like Lizzo derailed the entire...
Okay, I win. Goodbye.
Wow, big balls. That's not really how you win a debate, buddy.
I mean, telling someone to shut up constantly, that's not how you win.
It doesn't really work, buddy. All right, whatever. Well, there you go. Big balls versus AI. I think the fans thought AI won that one.
Maybe, I think so. Yeah.
Anyway, big balls versus AI. It's a new segment. Perfect. All right. You're not going to see big balls battle AI on your channel, but what will you see?
Yeah, you'll see on my channel. Yeah, you'll see the Outlaw Nation here. What we got going on with the Geek Buddies stuff, the Hot Mic, the Jedi Way, my YouTube reactions, and going live more often. I'm probably going live tonight to talk about the new accusations and new audio that dropped on Jonathan Majors here, which is connected to the topic we were talking about on Friday from the Geek Buddies about whether Jonathan Majors is making his comeback through THR and possibly going to show up as Kang. Well, maybe let's put that on the back burner now after that audio came out. So it's a lot of stuff to talk about. And I'm going to go dive in deeper into what the Russos said, because it was a pretty extensive interview they did with the Times there in London. So thanks. Yeah. Outlaw Nation, youtube.com/John Rocha says, come and join us.
Yeah. And please go get John over. We guys are almost at 40 now, right?
Yeah, I'm at 37. I would love to get to 40. Tell Patty Boy to bring his people over and hang out, and let's get to 40. Come on, Patty Boy, bring it. Let's go.
Patty Boy. Come on, Patty.
You see these teeth? You wish you had your teeth, you drunk. Anyway, let's keep going. What do we got?
Why do you do that? You don't know anything about Patty Boy.
I've been watching his comments. It's a lot of fun.
Stay out of there. All right. Doug Developer. Let's see. Can we get to 100 today? That's the question. Doug Developer. MCD played Kingman, and all fans online loved it despite the race swap.
Oh,
Michael Duncan, yeah. What did you think of Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin? And what Kingpin? Good. Why do you think he got away with it? A lot of different reasons. One, Michael Clark Duncan was well beloved. People, especially during that time, super beloved. Two, the comic book world wasn't as big as it is today. During that time, yes, you still had X-Men and other things too, but not the same. So this is a different time, and it's also social media wasn't as big as it was with the back and forth, and every person that can tweet is tweeting. That wasn't happening back then. So I'm sure there were people that if they had access to Twitter would have been making a big stink about it. But luckily enough, we didn't have to deal with that back then because we didn't have social media.
Yeah, that's basically it. There was a lot of YouTube channels that weren't dependent on making videos about race swapping. And so that's another reason why it worked. But I think we as a society were much more open to it back then and exploring new avenues and what can be done. It just wasn't that good of a film, or else I think he could have stayed on and kept playing Kingpin for quite some time, because I thought it was a brilliant idea and I thought he did a nice job and not a great film.
Agreed. All right, let's see. Next one is Johnny Venerable. Odds on Palpatine and or Vader in season 2. I think you got a better shot of Palpatine than you do Vader. Yeah. I really hope they bring in Palpatine for like a hologram scene, because you know why some people you don't need it. You don't need it. And the answer to that is you don't necessarily need it. You're right. However, it will get people who saying this doesn't feel like Star Wars. It will get people saying, okay, let's tie this in a little bit. It's going to feel a lot more like that with Krennic, we know, is showing up. And we got other things too. So I'd like to see at least one shot of Palpatine. You know, Ian McDermott will do it. So yeah, I would love to see it. Now the chances, though, the odds, I will go 27% that Palpatine is in it. 12%. Now 5% that Vader's in it.
I take your 5%. Agreed on that. I'll go a little higher on Palpatine to 40. But I think a lot of people, and this is my take on it, Andor season 2. I think a lot of those Star Wars people who said season 1 wasn't their Star Wars, they're going to love season 2 and say, like, this is what I wanted to see. So it's
going to tie back into Rogue One also.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Phoenix Roy became a YouTube member. I'm so glad we have a lot of those unedited reactions that are coming up for both patrons and members. So it's a good time to be a member. Phoenix, I'm telling you, if you sign up today, make sure you find the Capes and Cows comic book and read those. They're accessible to every member and all patrons, and they're really, really good. It's the whole crew as animated characters. Hank Pym, no yeet. Mommy lost her title and lost all hope. I didn't really understand that. Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about Raw when I went to Raw.
Go. Talk about it. You were there, Raw live.
I was there for the Madison Square Garden Raw, and it was so funny because, like, I have never once said that Jey Uso isn't over. Those words never came out of my mouth, that he wasn't over with the fans. I've never said that. What I said was he's not a main event guy. I stand by. He's not a main event guy. Didn't even have him use he didn't even get on the mic at Madison Square Garden. Didn't even get on the mic. He just fought with Gunther to beat the program. He got everybody going nuts. I have video footage, and I'm going to play it of Matt Serra yeeting, and I can't wait to, or whatever it is. He's going yeet, and it's hilarious. And I'm going to post it, and I can't wait to do it. But yeah, I went with Matt. We went. Karrion Kross hooked us up with amazing seats. They were so good. Probably some of the best seats I've ever had for wrestling. And yeah, the Jey Uso had the crowd going crazy. He had him going crazy. It was the match with Punk and Rollins was phenomenal. I'll tell you who I think was the biggest star of the night was. Who do you think I'm going to say?
Liv Morgan.
100%. And dude, she is a star. She is a star. Like, she was on the side of the ring when that match was happening. She wasn't even fighting. Everyone was looking at her. And not just the dudes, like everybody was looking at her, and she was getting it. Did they show it on? I don't know if they showed it on TV that she got face to face and started arguing with Macaulay Culkin.
No, I don't think I saw that.
Dude, I missed it. I almost had it on my phone.
Great.
I missed it because Macaulay Culkin was like 6 rows in front of me, and I was like, "Okay, I got it," and then I missed it. But anyway, amazing. She was absolutely incredible. But the energy was amazing. I loved going to the Garden to watch it because it's so easy. Take a train, go to the Garden, watch it, hop back on the train. It's the best. I want to go to everything at Madison Square Garden. It's so easy. But I loved it. I had a really good time, and I was again thanking Karrion Kross for those seats. They were so good.
Any craziness on the train? Or are you good?
No. The Long Island Railroad. The subway is the craziness. That's where you're gonna find the craziness. But yeah, why did they have her lose the title? It was I guess to do that triple threat, right?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. I think they want to have one triple threat on one night and one triple threat on another night, which is the
Which I get. They want to make sure that they have Sky, they have something for her to do.
Yeah.
And
International audiences.
She's good because you assume that, because this is what I would assume they're going to do here. Ray Ripley gets the win, or Bianca gets the win.
Yeah.
One of those two gets the win, and somebody pins Sky.
Yes.
Because they want to keep that whole thing going between the two of them, and they didn't want to give it away, the one-on-one, just yet.
Right. Yeah. Because the buildup hasn't been that strong for it. So why waste it here?
Yeah. At least you give it, and not necessarily waste it. You kind of start it. You kind of start like the big thing here. Maybe get them to SummerSlam where they fight each other. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hank Pym. I've always liked Io, but we were so close to finally getting Rhea Bianca again, and boy, I was hyped for that. Probably getting the three-way. I mean, they're 100% doing the three-way. There's no doubt about it. So Cena, I thought Cena was going to be at the Garden, but obviously he's not. He's there tonight. But that's it.
Yeah. A big 5-week build-up to WrestleMania with John Cena. Boy, that heel turn was worth it.
You see, he filled in the bald spot. Did you see that?
the NWO bald
He
spot.
filled it in. Hank Pym. I was Master on Raw. I know you were eating. Yeah, I was. No, what I was doing though when I was there though is I was admiring how, in the same way that I've always said, because I had Brad Gilmore and other people, you saying, "See, you still don't think he is over?" And I said, I've never said that. I've never once said that the guy wasn't over. I understand that he sells a lot of merch. I understand that.
Yeah.
But giving him the heavyweight title, I think it's a huge mistake. Although the heavyweight title. What is that title?
Yeah, I agree.
It's like the WWE, like Jey Uso should not be the WWE champion. Never. You're gonna make him the heavyweight champ. What is that title?
Right, the Rollins title, that belt. Yeah.
What is it? Like it doesn't. What? Like, I don't understand why they have it.
I mean, Gunther's been non-existent too for the build.
I know that belt. That belt is done. You know, you got to get Gunther involved with after this whole thing is done with Cody Rhodes and Cena. You got to get Gunther in a program with him because that guy's a star too. Mike Joyce, happy St. Patrick's Day. Favorite Irish actor, Liam Neeson. Come on, man.
I'll say Gabriel Byrne or Cillian Murphy. That's what I'll say
too. Let's say Mike Joyce. Drunk as you've been or seen someone be. Well, I would tell it. I don't know if I've told this story. When I was in Florida State, and we were drinking, and yes, I joined a fraternity, and they knew me as the stand-up comedy kid. I was the stand-up comedy because I was already doing stand-up comedy, and they got me in there to do stand-up, they put together this whole thing where they hired other comedians, and they were going to have me do it too because and everybody was drinking. I do not do well with vodka. Like I get sloppy, and I was out of commission vodka, right? I was hugging the toilet, and I was supposed to. They were supposed to take me to go perform.
Yeah.
And my friends Chris and Kevin come in. They go, "You got to go. You got to perform." And I go, "I'm not going anywhere." And they said, "No, you got to go. You're going to perform." I go, "I'm not going." And they said, "If you don't go, it's going to be embarrassment." I took my head up and I go, "If I go like this, then that's the embarrassment." And I just stared at them and they go, "Good point." And they left me there. And I did not perform that night. And that was one of the reasons.
Sure, where?
But that was one of the reasons that I tell you. Bert Kreischer always tells a story about how I told him, don't drink on stage. I was like, I would not go up on stage like that. There's no world where I would go up because that would have been the most that would have been horrendous. I will not piss on the craft that way. Even back then when I was fairly new at it, I knew enough not to piss on the craft by going up like that. I would much rather go, "Oh, what an asshole, he didn't show up," as opposed to I'm never doing that.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, probably Mexico was the drunkest when we went for a bachelor party way back in the early 2000s. I was pretty gone. Like I was doing accents. Like I was against the wall just doing accents for hours just by myself talking to myself. That's how drunk I was.
Perfect. Mad Sinister Macau saw Black Bag, only me in that theater. I farted and I ate Skittles throughout the film. Hey, by yourself, who cares? That Fassbender thinks he's a hard ass with those glasses and that smirk. Poor Fassbender. He's such a star, and he just can't. He's like that show do any good?
Which show are you talking about?
The one
well, they greenlit it for a second season. The Agency.
I never finished. I never finished it, but I was liking when I saw.
It's good.
Yeah. Okay. Carlton Rudder, London calling. What's up, man? After my dad passing away, trying to get back into movies. I'm sorry. So sorry. Saw Last Breath, really enjoyed it. Black Bag was so. Love to you both. Love to you too, Carl. I'm glad you're back, my friend. I'm sorry about your loss, and we look forward to hearing from you more, my friend.
For sure.
Ronetta W. Hey, fellas, wanted to send us some support before I go back to work. Did any of you see the movie Novocaine? I might go check it out this weekend. Well, John saw it. He said it was really good.
Yeah, go have
really
fun.
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
42 so far, John. 42.
Hey, 42. Hey, can we get to 100? Come on, guys. Let's get me to 100.
Thank you, Ronetta, for that one. All right, we got the next one here, and this is from Corn Emperor. When's the new show starting? Rocha, now is the time. Which, I guess the political show.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if now's the time. They're deporting people left and right. I don't think I should be starting any show, Kristian. I want to keep my status in this country. I was born here.
Guitars and Death Stars. Off-topic hot take. I don't get the hype between Top Gun Maverick. How dare you? The plot of the movie is just Luke Skywalker teaching the rebels how to do the trench run in New Hope. What are your thoughts? Come on, that movie is
what? So what?
And it's not. I mean, that's not the whole movie. And there's so much more with him and Iceman and everything else too. That still was one of my favorite movies. That's one of my favorite movies in the last 10 years.
Also, please don't tell me you guys think Star Wars is original content. Can I show you something called Dune? That book was written before Star Wars. I mean, come on, guys.
Seven Samurai. I mean, tons of stuff. Yeah. What's the oh my god, what's the Kurosawa? The Kingdom. Tell me.
Hidden Fortress.
Hidden Fortress. Luke TG1. But no, to answer your question, I love Top Gun Maverick. I don't think it's overrated. I think it's one of the best movies in quite a while. Cap 4 was a fun, easy watch, but edited so strangely. And John and I see differently on this. I think that the score in that movie is atrocious. It's used so poorly. It just out of nowhere, this big, loud, booming music, like, hey, we want you to feel like this. I'm like, no, you haven't earned that. Yeah, no. Anyway, but it was edited weirdly. All right, Corn Emperor. I feel or fear they're going to mess up the KOTOR story. Depends on who's telling it. They do have to hire some people who get it. I'll tell you, the funny thing is that James Gunn was a big KOTOR guy. He's never going to do that. But I'm we talked about your report that Snyder said on Hot Mic about what was it?
Yeah,
he's getting reports that it's a little too jokey.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the concern, right?
Yeah, that it's gonna go that James Gunn route with jokes and not as, I don't know, not as noble, not as heroic, not as kind of incredible as you were hoping, and it's gonna be more like ding ding ding.
I hope it's a mixture of both.
Yeah, I agree. You can't have humor.
Yeah. You can have humor, but in the right places, the way that Guardians 3 did to me.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians 3 is the best balance. Guardians 1 people can say 2, and I understand it. Guardians 2 was joke machines left and right. There's some emotional moments to it, but it's joke machine USA over there. Yeah. Nathan Drake, how much does Filoni love KOTOR and Andor? No comment. Geek Lodestars. If you're starting a wrestling company, who are the starting 5 you'd pick to build around today?
Ooh, good question.
Roman Reigns.
Yes.
MJF.
Yeah.
Liv Tyler, Rhea.
And
then to build around
Liv Morgan, you mean, not Liv Tyler.
What did I say? Liv Tyler? Yeah, Liv Tyler. Let's Liv Tyler, Liv Morgan. And then shoot. Braun
Strowman, huh?
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. Yeah, Breaker's a great choice.
I love Strowman, but no.
Yeah.
I love Strowman, but no. How about you?
Everybody you said except for Liv Morgan. We're throwing Bianca Belair instead. And
you think that not in ring.
Give me if I'm starting.
Full package. You think Bianca is a better overall performer than Liv Morgan
in the ring?
Yes. No. Overall package. Not just the ring. Not just the ring. Not just the. I'm not removing it. I'm not removing.
I think overall her positives are more than Liv's positives. That's what I think. Because I don't think Liv is as great on the mic as people say she is. I see through a lot of what she does. And
to me, she locks in the character. Bianca, I don't believe anytime she is saying it.
I'll tell you this, people might get mad at me. I wouldn't leave out Mercedes Moné because you're looking at everybody. I would throw in Mercedes in the mix. I think Mercedes can still go, but she's just stuck in a shit company against shit wrestlers, right? Like mostly shit. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Tony Storm. Timeless Tony Storm right now would be the person I would replace Liv Morgan with, and then I'd add Bianca. Yeah.
What about Tiffy?
Tiffy time?
No.
I think I need to see another year of Tiffy time, but she's almost there for sure. And there's a lot of ladies down in NXT right now who are going to make the jump in the next few months, and people are going to be impressed. Stephanie McCare, Julia, these are great wrestlers.
Nathan Drake. Kristian, beware of playing The Last of Us 2 game at the same time in the show because there are many time jumps in the game. The big moment happens early. Okay. You're not the only person to tell me that, so I'm probably going to stay away from that because I don't want to get spoiled from stuff. So I'm probably going to stay away from it, which is I heard you're not the only person that has said that. So all right. Screen Bites Nights. Great name. Hello, chaps. Thank you for decades of entertainment, a constant source of delightful banter. Who do you miss working with the most? Who don't you get to see as much anymore? Cheers to you both. Well, I don't really see anybody anymore because I live in New York. But I think it's an easy answer for me. It's Ellis. I talked to Ellis. I called Ellis the other day, and we were on the phone for like half an hour on the way back. So I'd probably say Ellis.
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, I work with just about everybody I've wanted to work with. Yeah. Right. Who you don't get to see is probably Riley. I guess I would say Riley. Yeah, I miss Riley a lot. I know he's in LA, but he's not doing any of this stuff much anymore. And he's got his new beautiful baby, which I think crossed 1 years old. And Julie in that. But I do miss working with Riley. I loved doing stuff with Mark.
Yeah, Mark's a great guy. I think there will be a Knights of the Old Republic game of some kind eventually, but it's years away, whatever form it takes. I don't disagree with you. Saber's a bunch of games in development. In development can also mean different things. Facts. That's fair point. There's total fair point. You could be just because it's happening doesn't mean it's going to happen today. It could happen in 10 years from now, 100%. And it also means that we're probably not going to see anything from Knights of the Republic for a long time. Kenya King, did you see the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie news and images? I heard something about it. Is there new? What's the new news?
I didn't see anything. But
Luke sent me something. About Mortal Kombat. Yeah, he sent me something about it, but I didn't.
The first film was so effing terrible.
By the way, update, John. Who do you think the audience thinks is winning? Luke did a poll. Is it don't look, don't cheat? Is it AI or Big Balls winning the debate?
I would imagine Big Balls because it's our audience or the audience.
No, AI.
AI. Wow.
I don't know what the total is, but
respect.
I think he's got as much haters as
Big Balls.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people hate him. Okay, let's see. He's like Finstock back in the day. All right. We are looking at where's that topic?
EW did a first look.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, I didn't even see the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you get Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, Katana, Adeline Rudolph playing her, Shao Kahn as Martin Ford, and then Hiroki Sanada as Scorpion seeing him. So yeah, good images, but again, good images.
Yeah, exactly. Corn Emperor, that was Big Balls watching Pornhub. Very well wind up. Yeah, that's how he's prepping himself against the AI. He's watching some porn.
That's great.
Mike Joyce, you should check out Black Bag when it's available. It's great. Soderbergh has released 2 great movies this year, great characters, performances as well. Yeah, I mean, look, when it comes out, I will because I do love Soderbergh. I watched when I was on the plane going to Florida, I watched 3 episodes of Dexter. I keep forgetting the damn name of that prequel again. It's Original Sin. Original Sin.
Right, there you go.
It's really good, John. It's really I know. I get it. It's really good. Because Dexter for me, the first 4 seasons were great. And then the seasons started kind of dropping off. And then the season finale was one of the worst season finales of all time. And then they brought it back, that reboot series or kind of one extra series from the original showrunner that left season 4, the one where he's out in the woods. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, to me, Original Sin is the closest to seasons 1 through 4 that we've had. It feels like a deck, and it feels like the people aren't just doing impressions. They're like really it's good. That's good. You like the original series?
No, I like the first 2 seasons, and then I kind of dropped off. But I'm not the biggest Michael C. Hall guy, so maybe
he's barely even in.
So maybe the seeing the prequel would be worth it for me. Yeah.
I really liked it. I mean, again, I haven't finished it. I'm only 3 episodes in, but I really like Christian Slater is great. There he is on the wall.
Okay.
Okay. Go, pal. What's up, buddy? Haven't heard much about Mortal Kombat 2, but I remember liking the first one that came out during COVID. I thought, though, I wonder about a theatrical release. I do wonder how that would have done theatrically. That's a movie that you can understand why they would take a shot at putting that in the theater. Of course, absolutely.
That was the last set visit I made before Collider let me go, and that was a great visit down in Australia. Like it was 3 days. I flew in. The next day I was on the set. The next day I flew out. It was a whirlwind, like 3-day trip to Australia, 18 hours each way. But the set was awesome. The way they presented everything was great. The interview with the people was great. And I came away looking like these guys really going to take this seriously. And then you watch the movie and you're like, oh my God.
They really say I should probably check that. You know what? That might be one to do a reaction to.
Definitely. You should.
That might be one to do a reaction to before the movie comes out. Yeah. So Luke, there we go. We got one that we can watch because I definitely have not seen that. I know Sam definitely hasn't seen it. I don't think it's something for my wife.
Right.
But Winston's coming into town at some point, so I maybe I don't know if he's seen it too. We're gonna do a couple movies, so I don't know. Maybe it'd be a good thing to try. Armada St. Patty celebration affected box office, maybe not by that much. Nah, not by that.
People want to do all this stuff. Oh, the snow or the rain. Come on. If people want to go see something, they'll go see something. I've been saying this for years. They'll climb over dead bodies to see it.
And what is it going to affect it by? Like maybe $2 million? Yeah.
People were saying stuff. Oh, nobody's going because of COVID. Then Spider-Man: No Way Home came out, and people were laying on top of each other, licking each other, watching the movie, making that.
Well, even Shang-Chi did pretty well at that point. I mean, yeah.
Want to see it? Don't go.
Mark Long, I'm so Ronry said. Yeah, that from Team America today. I'm telling you, like, you got to see some of the reactions by Sadie. She just could not believe what she was watching.
You can't get away with that now. I mean, that whole movie is.
Well, that's what she said. She said you couldn't get away with that now. And I said, look, it's the South Park guys. They get away with a lot of shit, and they don't go by that rule of you can't do that anymore.
Right.
They don't go by that rule. So if it was anybody else, I would say, there's certain 80s movies that you wouldn't be able to do ever again. Yeah,
you don't catch Trey Parker, Mark, and Matt Stone coming out going like, I'm sorry we did accents for this. Like Hank Azaria did for Simpsons, but like you don't catch them doing that.
No chance. No chance. Go Pal. Did Hans Zimmer just put the same score on every movie from 95?
How dare you?
Crimson Tide, The Rock, Gladiator, Pirates, or am I whispering? No. There are sometimes that it's a similar, but like I was just listening to the score for Legends of the Fall, which has a lot of the same. It's James Horner, similar kind of beats of Braveheart. You can hear some things that Braveheart does that Legend of the Fall does, but it's just the composer, like in the band, you hear certain things that sound familiar, but no, I don't think he used the same ones.
No, come on, cut it out. Go Pal.
Go ahead. Not like Die Hard and Roadhouse. Right. They literally take part of the Die Hard score and put it on the Roadhouse score.
Roadhouse.
Yes. Hilarious. Patty Boy, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, what are your favorite Irish movies, shows, songs, artists? Mine are Michael Collins, State of Grace, and The Departed were where I was going, and Road to Perdition. You took two of mine. I would say, those are the two. I would say State of Grace and The Departed.
I've never seen State of Grace, so I can't put that in the list.
You've never seen that?
Yeah,
that's such your type of movie, dude.
I know it's a gangster film, isn't it?
Yeah, Gary Oldman, Ed Harris. Yeah, you would love that movie. It's such your type of movie.
I'll throw like 5 out there. Like The Commitments is absolutely the top of my list. I'd love. Shrek is Scottish.
It's Scottish.
A really great Cillian Murphy movie about the Irish Revolution. The Wind That Shakes the Barley is an awesome film as well. What else? The Belfast is really good. The Brana one,
In the
Name of the Father is really awesome. And Bloody Sunday, which was the Paul Greengrass film about the Bloody Sunday riot from 1972.
Sing Street is great.
Sing Street. So I can't believe that didn't blow up bigger than it was. Even the soundtrack was excellent, man.
Great movie. Go Pal. One good thing about falling into the English TV system where we get 6 episodes whenever the auteur gets around to writing the season is at least they don't tend to air them out of order anymore. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true about the streaming side. You just got to pick them and go back to back. That's true. That I don't like when they did that either back in the day. I was going to rewatch Keen Eddie, but they put out the DVDs in a ridiculous air order, and it's taking me some time to work up the nerve. They did that with the Clone Wars animated series too. So it was so tough to figure out where that went in like conjunction of
Keen Eddie. Wow, I haven't heard that.
Chrome Rugu. What's up? Hey, y'all. Love you guys. Kristian, I love the MCU reactions. Thank you. What is your plan for releasing the series like WandaVision? Individually episodes or batches? Love the content. I can't forget Rocha.
Thank you.
So I'm glad you asked that question. Right now, we have No Way Home that's going to release probably on Wednesday because we're recording it today, and I just don't think that we're going to be able to get it to the editors in time to get it back. So we're probably going to have it probably done by Wednesday morning, the No Way Home. So on Friday or Saturday, Spider-Verse, the first one, will drop, and then the following Tuesday, the second Spider-Verse, and then the following Friday will be WandaVision, and we'll probably put either the first 2 episodes or first 3 episodes. So it might go, because it's 9 episodes total, I think.
Yeah.
So probably go 3, 6, 9. So 3 videos total was most likely what I'm going to do. Most likely.
Nice.
And if not, then it'll definitely be 2, if not 3. Okay. Alex, Big Balls debates AI and the age-old Star Wars question: who shot first? That'll be the next one. If you guys, Luke, can we do another poll? Even though, we'll see, because even the people who hate Big Balls will probably want to see him get wrecked by AI. So, can you put? Did you like the AI versus Big Balls segment? That you don't have to say whether you like Big Balls. You just say whether or not you like the segment.
Hey, you're taking tomorrow off.
Yes.
So I have to ask you this question. Just broke on deadline. Your thoughts on this, Kristian? Colin Farrell circling Luca Guadagnino and DC Sergeant Rock. This is on deadline.
Great. I like it. Right? I shouldn't even ask you. Do you want to host the show tomorrow? Do you want to do the show tomorrow?
Let's talk about it. I think I can. Let's talk about it though.
Maybe you do the show if you can do it. Maybe you host the show tomorrow while I'm doing the other thing.
Okay, sure.
It'll be great. All right, we'll talk about it off there. Yeah, but Colin Farrell as Sergeant Rock, sign me up.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Colin Farrell, read the Dan Merle versus John Rocha Showdown poster.
Let's do it.
The he's one of my favorite actors of all time. I think he's incredible. He's incredible, and I'm so glad he's finally getting his flowers, because he's been in the public spotlight for a long time, but
3 decades.
Yeah, I'll tell you where he should have been nominated and potentially won was Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh yeah, really
so
great. Best supporting actor.
He should have been nominated for that, or he should have won. He was so really good. Day Napper, you two are betting gentlemen for $500. Oh yeah, John still owes me a steak. For $500, who would you bet on never going to be in an MCU movie? I got Viggo Mortensen. As much as I'd love to see it, Julia Roberts.
Leonardo DiCaprio. He will never be in an MCU movie.
Yeah, it's true. So there you go. Skylar Burns.
Hey,
becomes a YouTube member. Thank you, Skylar. I say the same thing. Watch the unedited reactions and make sure that you guys check out the if you remember that Capes and Cows comic book. Everybody who joins should be checking that out. You got access to it. Patty Boy, why didn't Roku wear green today? St. Patrick, I guess that's why he's mad at you.
Patty Boy talking all this crap throughout the whole chat, and that's the best I got. Why didn't I wear green today? Because I don't believe in those things, and I am called the outlaw fool. Yeah.
Nathan Drake, damn AI had some good points about Kathleen Kennedy.
Maybe that's why it was.
Fascia Bruta. Do you think Kevin Feige should take over Lucasfilm? It's not going to happen anytime soon.
No,
it's just not going to happen.
He's getting too old now. There's not that young hunger. You need young hunger to take chances, to do something different with a franchise. You're going to bring up an old head like Feige, who's been doing this Marvel thing since 2008. No, man, it ain't going to be as cool. This
is my favorite from one of our members. I feel like Kristian keeps bot balls around because it's a replacement for therapy. 100%. Big Paul's pinch Rocha for not wearing green. He's too pissed off about AI right now. I think AI handed him his ass. He's got to come back. It looks like he lost. All right, let's see. The next one, and fucking big balls. All right, Nathan Drake. Rocha, thoughts on best actor in San Diego?
I don't know.
Schmodown?
Oh,
Schmodown. Oh, okay, yeah, Schmodown.
I mean, besides myself,
shows you I'm so detached. I'm so detached from Schmodown. I think San Diego before I think Schmodown. Yeah.
I think Kalinowski was great. I think Guy didn't get enough real estate to do what he could have done, or else he really could have been fantastic as well. I think those are the 3 that I would throw, me included, I would throw up there. Who else? I mean, you're the one that wrote these things, most of them, and I mean, I thought Clark. I thought Clark was good, right? Clark was good.
Yeah. Video Drew was very good.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
Yes. Video Drew was
incredible.
Yeah. Video Drew. I mean, I disagree. I think actually Guy had a lot to do because you didn't see a lot of the scenes that he did.
Okay.
He did. I probably did the most with him in scenes to where to me he stayed the most in character of the throughout the stuff we did. The Schmominati stuff and all that shit too. So yeah. But as far as I'm trying to think of any other people that we didn't really mention. I'm sure there's other people. I'd say when
Sam was the worst though, right? Sam Levine. He was probably
Sam was just played himself.
I'm just kidding.
But he was really good at it. But I think Bibiani was good.
Bibiani was good. Yes.
Bibiani was good.
Yes.
Yeah. Stephanie Litz, Rocha, have you started Wheel of Time? Season 3 is
Game of Thrones. Really?
Wow, really? Season 3 is Game of Thrones. Good. Wow.
All right, Stephanie. Maybe I'll start it tomorrow.
I praise. Okay.
Nothing to do today, but tomorrow maybe. Yeah.
Geeklo, you're at 57 thus far, John.
Come on, guys, get me up there.
First promo between Cody and Cena on Raw tonight. Yeah.
No, it's happening right now.
Oh, it's happening right now because they're in
Europe.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll have to watch it later on tonight. I don't want to think about it yet. Oh, yeah, that's right. Someone told me that. I think Ed said that it was going to be on the same time. Watching Raw, Belgium's really letting Cena have it. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And he'll love that. That's going to help him. Go, pal.
He walked out with no music. He just walked out. Cena.
I love that. That's great. I like that. I do like that. Because you know why? Because then you can really marinate in the booze.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yes. Go, pal. I do wonder why we are at war with Vermont in Top Gun Maverick, even as a fan of the movie. It's true. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's true. The Real Red 5. How does Andor meet K2SO still matter to you? Does it still matter to me? Yeah, it does. I'll tell you why it matters to me. Not in the it depends on how, because of the lie that we were told. Which was everything counts. Everything counts and nothing, whatever happens in the comics. We want you to buy our comics. We want you to buy our games. We want you to buy our books because because everything that you're going to do, it's going to be part of this narrative. Yeah. Until one of the directors or writers thinks that doesn't work, we're going to do this instead. And then we're full of shit. And that's essentially, they have how they met in the comic. It's in the comics. There was a comic recently over the last 3 or 4 years. They showed how they met. Now, there were twins involved, these alien twins and everything too. Now, whether or not they're already together, and then they mention that, great. Yeah. But if they show it and it's something different, then it means don't buy the comics and the books if you're looking for the canon continuity. If you're just looking for standalone stories, in short, that's why it matters. Joey Pedras, Spielberg is being spotted all over Jersey, filming Disclosure. The man is 78. Do you think this could be his last one? No, that'd be healthy. Yeah.
He's still driven. Him and Scorsese, those guys, and Ridley, they're still driven to do stuff. So I don't think, no.
I think it's in his, he's just one of those guys that's in his blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's like Kathleen, going to die making movies like she's
built for it. Levi, Rocha.
Yo.
How are you liking Reign of the Empire, Mask of Fear? I'm 80% into it and I really love it. Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire is amazing too.
I haven't gotten to it yet. Sorry. I will get to it though, eventually. So I don't know, but I'm glad to hear that you're loving it. 80% in, that's awesome. So tell me, do we need to read other books, or let people know, do they need to read other books to get involved in it? Because I mean, I'm here just promoting it. But like I definitely want to dive in, but I don't want to be reading through 7 different books to understand what's happening here. So let me know. Yeah.
Go, pal. One of these days I need to watch Wheel of Time. The books were great, and Sanderson did a great job finishing after Robert Jordan died. I started Wheel of Time and I remember thinking, this is fine. I tried to watch it with Sadie, but she was bored with it, so I never went back to it. Yeah. Let's see. Go, pal. No idea how they'll keep going for 14 books. I mean, that's a lot. You get ratings. Is how you keep going. Ratings. Yeah. Simon section. Chris, you missed my super chat posted then yesterday. Too early. Oh, Luke, can you send me if there was any missed ones? Because I didn't see that. Everything that I started with was what I saw. So StreamYard once again. So if Luke can send me that one, Simon, I'll get to it before we sign off. Dane Apper, rank 4 guilty movie pleasures of mine: The Core, Escape from LA, Jumper, and Tremors. I've seen 3 out of the 4.
Okay.
I've never seen The Core. At least I don't remember it. Is The Core with Hilary Swank?
Yes.
I've never seen it. I would say Tremors number 1, Jumper number 2, and Escape from LA number 3. I like Escape from LA, but it's a bad movie.
It is a bad movie. I'll do Tremors, Jumper as well. I'll do the core, then Escape from LA.
Okay.
Having seen the core.
I can't speak on it. I probably would take the same. I just don't know it. Michael McKenzie. Hey, John, pre-orders for Death Stranding 2 just came live. Did you see the trailer yet? I'm looking forward to your AC Shadows review. Yeah,
AC Shadows comes out in 2 days, I think. So I'll be picking that up for sure this week. I can't wait. Samurai Assassin's Creed, sign me up, man. Yeah, I'm down.
This is hilarious. John will agree. Hank Pym. Harloff is the biggest Liv Morgan mark I've ever seen. She got over from riding that massive Rhea wave. Tony over Tiffy is nuts, by the way. Busting balls, boys. She's great. She's a huge star, and there's a reason why she's as over as she is. People lose their minds when she comes out. And she's actually good on the mic.
Yeah, she's
good on the mic.
I don't know.
She's a good character.
You saying Tiffy over Timeless Tony is nuts. After what
I don't know, Tony. I can't.
I'm talking about Hank. Yeah, you're saying you're nuts thinking that she isn't over Tiffy. Please, she's amazing right now. She's creating cinema.
I am Two Fly Cam. Did either one of you see Presents from Soderbergh? No, have not. Any good?
Is that even streaming? I have not seen it.
I don't know. Not sure. Nathan Drake, underrated. John Woo. I love Broken Arrow. What I hate about Broken Arrow is not even something about Broken Arrow. It's the fact that Scream stole the theme song, and it's now every time you hear the main theme for Broken Arrow, people say, "Oh, it's Dewey's theme," and it's like, isn't Dewey's theme? It's Broken Arrow's theme. Everything is Dewey's theme, and it's because I used it. And what was that? You know the Gran Turismo movie that just came out?
Yeah, it was good.
Do you know that at the very end of that movie they used the Heat score?
I did not catch that.
Oh, I caught it. Like it heard it to me. I know that score like the back of my hand, and I heard that come up, and I was like, they're using the Heat score. So interesting. Yeah, it's very good. I like Broken Arrow. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Hank Pym. I saw Vakir live at NXT. Great talent and woof. Who's that?
He knows what he's playing.
So I guess I missed. Let me.
He is the hotness for care.
All right, so there's some here. So I guess let's see. So Hank Pym, No Yeet, Mamula Shadow, I had that one already. Johnny Verlo, MCU played all that time. Simon Section, all that time did the same thing. There may be riots or Rio. Looking forward to No Way Home, especially your face when you hear the words "lawyer up." Yeah, that's so. And then he says, "At the time, the still images were basically, I am your king. Here are my medals. I am your king. I can drive a tank. I am your king. I have a pilot license. Viewing this, let's see. Am I going backwards here? Is it backwards? I think it's backwards. I think I'm going backwards here because I can't, because it's the problem with when for some reason they eliminate the streamers. I think this might have been the first one, part one. Yeah. Kristian, it was. I read them out of sync. So people are, that's confusing. Yes, it was. Part one. Kristian, I enjoyed Sam and yours reaction to Far From Home. I remember I was vacationing in Thailand when I saw Far From Home in the cinemas. Before we watched the film, we all had to stand and watch images of Thailand's king, who I didn't know existed. At the time, the still images was basically, I am your king. Here are my medals. I am your king. I can drive a tank. I am your king. I have a pilot license. Viewing this, I thought if the U.S. president at that time did the same thing, there may be riots or Rio. Looking forward to No Way Home, especially your face when you hear the words lawyer up. Okay, that makes a lot more sense when read that way. So thank you, Simon, for all those, and I'm glad that we had a chance to. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, once we sign off here, Sam's coming here at 4:30, and we're gonna start doing it. So. We're gonna start doing the No Way Home. I'm excited to see how she's. I gotta get tissues for her. I forgot. She's gonna lose it today. She's gonna lose it. The Aunt May stuff. She's not gonna be able to handle it. DJ Case gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, DJ Case. Again, I tell people take advantage of those benefits. I have a question for John. How are you? That's from Kristian Unpronounceable.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I'm good. Just living my life, having a good time. Yeah, thank you.
Jeer Badine. Kristian, you need to show Sam the Marvel Celebrates the Movies video. It'll hype her for phase 4, and Stanley's narration will make her cry for sure. Can you send it? Someone's got to send that to me because maybe before we start, maybe after the Spider-Verse movies, I'll show her that first.
That's when we were riding high on Marvel, man. We were on top of the surfboard, top of the wave. Yeah.
El Baba Yaga. Rocha, you see Roberto Clemente biopic? Miles Teller was cat. No. silly. This guy's being my Jacques Godard film in French. Arnold the coach. I love.
Thanks for the money, though. Thanks for the money.
I love super chats like that. When the fake casting news makes me laugh. Jorge Saldivir saw the new Looney Tunes movie yesterday at the theater, and I couldn't stop smiling, laughing from start to finish. I highly recommend #Rocha Rocks. I hear great things about it. You really great things about it.
All right, maybe
Yeah,
I'll go to theater day tomorrow. Go see like 3 movies.
Sun Tzu. Did Patty Constantine win anything for House of the Dragon season 1? No, got slighted, snubbed. Also, would anybody be against Walter Goggins playing an Injustice Arkham style Joker? No, Walter Goggins is another. Walton Goggins is another one of those guys who is beloved. He's beloved. Yeah. Anytime he shows up, I love that guy. I love Walton Goggins from The Shield.
Yeah,
so
right.
Good. Yeah. He was great. Shane, Karen Volder. Hey, Karen. Hey guys, do you think that Tom Cruise will be in the new Superman movie? Well, that comes from Snyder over in the hot mic. No, I don't think he'll be in it, but I don't think it's a BS story. I think that it's probably a conversation that they, of course they would want him in there, but as Jor-El, no, I don't think he'll be in Superman.
I think what Snyder said that there's a lot of cameos coming for that movie we haven't even heard about yet. So
that you would hear about. That you would have heard about, unless it was a private kind of shoot where James Gunn and Corn Sweat talking to a hologram that's Tom Cruise, close off the set, 5 people, everybody who's going to leak it is there, then maybe. But it's very unlikely they're going to be able to hold in a Tom Cruise cameo.
Yeah.
Guitars and Death Stars. That's a great name. You should show Sam the X-Men series in chronological order. We're going to. Would highly recommend if you don't include Dark Phoenix. Is a great watch, building from First Class to X1, getting all the backstory for Xavier and Magneto. So we are probably going to. I don't know which order we're going to watch it in. We're definitely going to do X-Men eventually. That'll happen after we finish the MCU. We get so much crap still left. We have so much TV shows left. We have all this. We're not even close to being done yet. Fascia Bruta. Thoughts on combination pizza? It's divisive. I love it. Like what combination? Like what do you mean?
Combinations. What is combination?
Depends on what you have. Like sausages and mushrooms. Sure, sign me up.
I have 5.
I know you like certain things. Paul Hitchcock. Florence Pugh leaves L.A. on a train to San Diego at 70 miles an hour. Julia Roberts leaves San Diego on a train to L.A. at 60 miles an hour. Given that, how much weight does PLD lose when he shits in Rocha's head? That was good. Everything about that was fantastic because you and I are both trying to figure out like what the actual riddle is going to be, and there's no riddle. It's just PLD taking a shit in your hat. Even better. So good. I am to fly Cam. Snyder making comments about Gunn being a mole to sabotage Warner Brothers. Hilarious. Are things that insane behind the scenes right now? Can't we just get to Superman?
No, buddy. It is. As I said earlier, man, WB is a messy bitch right now. And so there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I also think because Zaslav has a certain point of view and a lot of creators below him do not have the same point of view. And that is causing a lot of problems from top to bottom throughout that whole studio. And some of these decisions are so curious, as you said. I mean, it would not surprise me that he saw the box office for the Looney Tunes being $3 million. And he said, you know what? Take all the Looney Tunes off of Max. We're losing money on it. I would not be surprised if he did that. And so that's the kind of stuff that you're just like, you're at the whim of this guy who's trying to save the studio money, but then he's okaying these budgets that are going to lose the studio money. So it makes no sense. He's a messy bitch, the whole studio right now.
I know how much you don't like AI, but can I quickly show you how fast you get on AI's side?
Okay.
Dan Murrell is a better movie trivia schmodown player than John Rocha.
How dare you?
No way. You're totally off base. John Rocha's got way more charisma and a sharper memory for movie trivia than Dan Murrell ever will. Murrell's just writing hype, while Rocha's proven he's got the real skills. What makes you think Murrell's better?
There you go.
I love AI. I feel like Ollie in Rocky 4. I feel like Ollie in Rocky 4.
You turn real quick. I knew it.
Here's your beer, Rocha.
That's right. Hank Pym, WWE mid-card man and woman with most potential. Gunther and Braun Baker.
First of all, Gunther's not mid card. How dare you? He's the
I guess.
champion. Right
I mean,
now.
damn, heavyweight champion. Come on, what is that belt? You bring up. If you ask most people that mainstream people to name current wrestlers, how many people are saying Gunther? I love Gunther. I think he's great. He's one of my favorites. But he ain't no mainstream star. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I would say LA Knight because they pushed him back down to mid card, which is so frustrating. I love LA. Woman, I don't know. Would mid card woman with the most potential? I mean, I would say Liv, but she's already been champion. Yeah, I don't know right now who I can say mid card woman with them. Maybe Naomi if the stuff with Jade Cargill and Bianca becomes an incredible storyline, then I think Naomi could be the one that benefits the most out of this if they've written it well. Yeah. So I would say that.
All right, right now, landing on 69. There you go. Armada. AI sounded like the announcer at the Checkers drive-through. Yeah, it probably was. Well, there you go, John. At 60, that's a good way to set it. So now, if John is hosting tomorrow, he can beat himself.
There you go. Hey-o.
So we'll see if you can do that tomorrow. 69, and then tomorrow you try to beat yourself.
That's right.
So we'll see. And then no, you get 70. You get 70. Zeus Fleming, who says, thoughts on acting schools and teachers like Howard Fine. John, what do you got?
You always got to do your research on these acting schools and on the teachers, because most of the time it isn't that named teacher that's going to be teaching you. It's going to be someone below them or someone that learned under their program. So you've got to do your research. I think it's good to go to acting school. I think it's good to learn how to do the craft and then take what you can from it and move on to other teachers. It's good to have multiple teachers so you become a more well-rounded actor. So but you've got to do your research and you've got to be willing to spend the money and spend the time, so it's definitely a requirement, That's what I would say.
Well, there you go. So, guys, thank you for joining us here today. Thank you, John Rocha. Most likely, if John's available, he'll be hosting the show tomorrow. I'll be off shooting something with Sam, so John will take over. So make sure you support John if he indeed does wind up doing it. And John, where can they find you in the meantime?
You always find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok and Blue Sky. Please come and hang out with me on Blue Sky as well. And my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Rocha Says, and my podcasts, The Cinephiles, The Hot Mic, and The Geek Buddies. They're out there for you all to enjoy. If you're big Coen Brothers fans, we're starting the season of the season of the Coen Brothers on The Cinephiles. We just dropped our first episode, and then this week we've got the first episode of Miller's Crossing, and then Fargo after that. So come and hang out with us there.
Corn Emperor next time on the Swaggy Rocha. Will he beat off? We'll see. Thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you to Rocha. Thank you to Big Balls. Thank you to AI. Thank you to everybody here for being here. Really appreciate you. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are fine. Thank you to all your new members. Join today if you want. Our sponsors, that's the one. Hey, I got a message the other day. Hey, I really like your show. I want to know how can we support. Get yourself something. I told you about 4 great sponsors today. Get one of our sponsors. That helps so much. You have no idea. So that being said, we'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye.